Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the hedges, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. Take 2.
Yep.
Well folks, you're listening to the Limited Slip Differences podcast, your perfect blend of cars, tractors and everything in between. I'm Connor.
And I am Michael, and there's a banging door behind us. Sorry, in front of us. I'm very confused. I'm really tired. I barely slept.
I can't get my phone in my pocket.
It's just like you're looking like it's like, and just like, go on, Connor, you're not going to say a line, you're sitting grinning at me. Yeah, if you're listening to this, you'll not have seen that, but Connor basically was really awkwardly putting his phone in his pocket.
Big phone problems.
Big phone, wee pocket. Anyway, moving on. Well, what's the crack?
Oh, Michael, and you.
Well, it's back to just me and you for a very short period of time before we bring on our guest.
Well, probably.
Because like the last episode, obviously, we had Connor and Tyree on it. That was such a fun podcast as well, man. That was so much crack.
Everybody was very cold.
It was, but you know what? We sat and chatted for ages before the podcast because obviously Connor and Tyree don't really know each other. So,
yes.
like,
it's a good chance for them to get rapport.
And then, like, we record it. I was like, oh, if we get like, because I think it got like 37 seconds, and I was kind of like, Connor was talking, but Connor obviously didn't want to reveal too much because of where he works and all that there. And I was like, right, this is, if Tyree doesn't really give us a wild pile more, it's like, right, well, I'll not have that much to add, and it's going to be like over in like an hour. And not because it was shit crack or anything like that, it's just because like everyone was just kind of rattling through, and after that it would have just become really unnatural podcasting. And then the whole skit just about the competition thing came up, and that was like the absolute icebreaker.
Well, the worst of it was, right, so you just went to me here, right, Tyree, go on, do it. And I was like, okay. And you're like, you're ringing Connor, is like, oh, okay.
No,
right.
like a bit of on the spot roleplay.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then I was like, right, Michael, you do it. And then you were like flawless, and I was like, fuck you anyway.
Yeah, I was actually going to take that out of the podcast because I was like, it doesn't. I don't know. I can't really give myself a bit of the ick. But
like there this evening we shot a thing there.
Yeah, you'll see that. Well, actually, it'll be out by the time you see this.
Yes. And it's like, I suppose you could say, I'm just, hey guys, and you're like, well,
I probably need to tone it back watching that video, like because you're so candid, and then it's like it doesn't flow. Either you need to come up or I need to come down, and the reality is both of us need to do both that. Like, you need to come up a wee bit and I need to come down a wee bit, because
we found that I like.
But that looks confident when you stand like your hands together. You're not saying mass, like, but you know, we're gathered here today. You know, like
for all you know, I am saying a few
Hail Marys,
possibly.
Yeah,
possibly,
and our Father,
and possibly.
Yep.
If people zoomed in, they might see the rosary beads. You know, a wee deck of the rosary.
Stephen McMullen has just burst into flames. Anyway, anything new?
Since the last podcast, not a massive amount, to be honest with you. We had, last time I think I was talking about, we had heifers calved down in
one born every minute or something, nearly, wasn't it?
Well, thankfully, they're now starting to settle down. I suppose like any farmer would know, whenever you have first calving heifers into the parlours, they're obviously not used to their surroundings. The patients can leave the chat.
Yeah.
The patients that did leave the chat on multiple occasions, and
your cattle aren't too bad, to be fair.
Fluent in French. But no, they're settling down. Funny, we're getting through the silage and silo, so because we only did the first cut into the silo last year, just because obviously we needed to eat it out, so that we could put the fresh stuff all in, and we did obviously a load of bales in second and third cut last year.
You still have like so much silage.
Oh yeah, believe me,
it's never really a problem.
It turns out now we've got this stage where we have some 2025, some 2024.
I would say you probably
some 2023.
Yeah,
and
wouldn't surprise me if you had the bales that we drew in 2021 still there. Like,
no, they're gone.
I'm surprised. We drew so many bales in that time.
we have had to get a nutritionist out there today, just to take a silage sample, because the performance levels of the cows at home, you know, I'm right and pleased with it. They, oh my god, am I just noticing something here?
What's that?
Hold on a second. Sorry, it's Type-C port. So basically, Michael, before the podcast here, was editing the promotional video, which you'll have already seen, and he was like, right, boom, I'll knock this out in no time. And I was like, class. I get some pointers too if I ever have to edit. And then I looked at the side of the laptop and went, is that a micro SD slot? And then I realised it isn't. No. So it was very anticlimactic. Thought it would bring us all with me in my small story time. But
thank you for coming to Connor's TED Talk.
Man himself said it. But no, we got the nutritionist out. Silage has been sampled. By the time this comes out, hopefully no more. And it's funny now, probably said it before, I can't even mind, just off the top of my head, but the whole cutting earlier obviously has paid very much dividends.
100%. I'm noticing that too.
And like, you know, we still haven't touched the bales that we made last summer, pretty much. We've vet some of them, but nothing.
Does beef cattle maybe get them, or like
no,
dry cows or something?
No, not even. They're literally have tested too good for it. You know, so I'll not complain about that. But everybody.
It was a unicorn year last year.
But
I think it was a unicorn year anyway.
The main good thing this last couple of weeks is, so if any dairy farmers are listening that are out there, you can go on to the internet and search global dairy trade auctions, and it gives you an indication of how the market's going. And for the last 4 to 5 months, it's just been steadily declining. Obviously, the milk price is worse and worse. But it's the first auction there in January was up 6%. It's been slowly going down like 2, 3, 4%. You know, every 2 weeks there's an auction, and it started to rise slowly. So hopefully in a couple of months' time, like, it's now stabilised.
Prices will be up a wee bit.
And it was more the fear everybody, I think, had of where is it going to stop. Because obviously, good year last year, everybody's up in production.
Yeah, of course.
And if you have too much of something, it becomes worth less, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
well,
there's just the joys of the whole thing. And then the Mk3 deal went through. I think. Is it?
It's not fully through. It's been put to the courts.
Hopefully, it doesn't screw the farmers here.
It will. Although I was talking to a friend, Orla, and she works with like certified Angus and stuff like that.
Funny, I've seen that, yes.
Yeah, and the thing about the Irish market is we'll always be premium, because obviously we're tested to such high levels, like Board Bia in the south, and with us it's like LMC and Red Tractor and Farm Quality Assurance in the north. We have to adhere to livestock standards, welfare. Jesus, starting to get one day out there now. You sure you closed that door right?
I did.
If you say so.
It is literally a warning tonight and tomorrow.
Is it warning tonight as well? 11 hour, maybe get this rattled out then. Obviously we have better welfare standards and stuff compared to the absolute garbage that's coming out of South America, like. So hopefully people see sense and realise that the better stuff is better for you and better for everybody.
Well, what's the...
From a farming perspective anyway.
Well, I suppose it's like this here. What person's going to go to the shop and choose... Thank you, Dor, for interrupting me there. Like, what person, like, logically would you say, oh, if you're bringing in something that has the potential to have a cancerous substance in it, over your good quality...
If some people see steaks 3 for a $5, like, they're probably going to go deadly cheap food, like.
Well,
we are us, because we're also in a cost of living crisis.
We are.
So, like, you know, and they've been telling us bacon's carcinogenic for years, and I'm still eating bacon, like, so.
So am I.
Do you know,
to be
like,
honest,
it's one of them things.
And then you, Michael.
I get called out.
That's right.
So this has kind of been a hot topic at the moment. So Farmflex, obviously me and Connor. I didn't know if that was known, and then John made it known in the video. Yeah, me and Connor will be helping again with on the poll this year. So the last few years, me and Connor have we wangled our way in 2023, and then somehow they asked us back in 2024, and we get very involved with the picking of the drivers and all. We're back again for 2026. I entered for the crack, mainly just literally for the crack, and then there's a few of us all together in a group chat, and Bernie Keenan was like, I'd like to go against you, and I was like, oh aye, whatever, no bother. Sort of laughed about it, and I was like, I'll be funny, like, right enough, to be fair. So I entered my tractor anyway, and then Bernie Keenan made a point of saying to John McLean, no, I want to call out Michael Scull, and I want you to call him out in the video. So Farnflex and Bernie called me out in the video, and well, my tractor's lying in split at the minute. It's missing fifth gear, and a few other wee bits and pieces, and it needs an injector pump. And I could start ramming off a list of many reasons why Bernie's tractor's probably going to wipe the floor of mine. The main one being he's 30k and I'm 40k, so he'll be better geared for the heavy pull.
Yes, but your tractor goes well.
So is Bernie's. that's a savage tractor.
What would you do if you beat him?
Probably release a 3-part series and maybe a fourth about how I beat him. No, if I beat him.
No, part 4 would be like, and this is why.
This is why we turbo your things. Yeah, it'd be.
You'd have to say it on this 4 times. Obviously,
I don't know. Like, I've pulled once against Bernie's tractor, like, and he beat me. So
when was that?
2024, Alan Murphy's pull. And then sure, last year with all the wins and stuff, I took a step back. But I have a heap of
To be fair though, in 2024 though, one thing about that pull that day, that was your first ever one.
Yeah, and I
so now you've got experience.
I'll do a couple more pulls a year for definite. Like there's definitely a couple of events I'd like to hit this year, and I bought weights like for the tractor. Like I've a few weights and I have a front link now.
Are you going to run weights, do you think, for on the pull?
I don't know if a front link spot, so she'll be a wee bit heavier anyway. I don't know. I'll see what Bernie's doing, and if he goes weights, I'll go weights.
Because less weight, more freight.
Less weight, more freight, but maybe more grip on the front end, depending.
But you have skinnier tyres.
I do. I'm a wee bit skinnier.
And your tyres are good.
Yeah. He ran weights the last on the pull. I was watching, doing a bit of research.
And in fairness,
Martin said he watched it about 4 times on the pull, just looking for insider information.
Like,
just studying.
To be fair, your tractor, if you got another, say, 10 horse out of her, would you for one day?
I'm going to 155. Like Bernie thinks 155. I'm going to go for 155 as well. So the injector pump needs done up. I'll get it ripped off whenever the tractor's home. I'll get the injector pump ripped off. I'll get her sent and get her redone. Get a bit more fuel thrown on her. And nice 155. She's at 139 or something there at the minute. Like, and she does go well, in fairness. She's a good pulling tractor. Like, but a wee bit more diesel at her. Nothing too cruel. Like, and sure, I can always wind her back again if I have to. Like, it's not the end of the world, but I could probably will turn her up for the day. Like,
are you going to do a clutch?
No. We'll see. The clutch isn't slipping.
It isn't?
No. It's a wee bit juddery, but
is the flywheel still good on her?
It's juddery, like, but then I think all Fates are.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
I kind of thought she wasn't phenomenal, but then Conor McFetridge drove her and he was like, no, this is a great driving thing. And I was like, right,
happy days.
You say so. So, also, what else have I done? So May 2024, I bought a slurry mixer.
You did?
And me and you put it to a bit of use.
Is that May 2024?
Mm-hmm.
No way. That's 2 years ago.
Yep. Well, nearly, yeah. And look, to be honest, like it did mix very well, but there's a leak in the input shaft, and the body is a wee bit rotten. And then September last year,
a wee bit.
Aye,
slightly.
Aye. Last August, I spotted a mixer in Ballymena auction, and
new one.
No, definitely not. But the one bit that was bad on it is the one bit that's good in the other one.
Right.
It's the center shaft where the actual agitator like goes through. So, but the actual where the slurry gets pumped up through and all, it's solid. So I have another valve down there as well off the tanker, the NC tanker, because I replaced the valve on the NC tanker. So I'm going to put the valve, that valve on.
What was that noise?
A gate falling probably.
Oh really?
I hope so.
No, I'm just thinking cows are laying in out.
Shouldn't be. Well, if they are, they'll go into that pen out the back there, so they can't go any further than that. It's blocked off both ways.
Okay.
So if they do manage to break in there, they're not going any further. No, there's a gate, a couple of gates lying out there. The one might have blew it over.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, basically my input shaft was leaking. You have to change to work on the gearbox properly and to change both shafts. You have to take the whole thing out. It's both of mine. It's basically gearbox, Harley splicer, shaft, and the Harley splicers, and both of them were welded to the output shafts. So £140 later, might I add, bought a new Harley splicer. Aye. So I'm currently building the two into one, but it'll all be cleaned down. I know it's a bit of work, and I know I'm joking about how like the two of them cost me what probably one good second hand one would have cost me, and that's true enough, but you still do run the risk with second hand that things can go wrong. So I know I've got a real solid mixer, and it'll all be cleaned out. I'm going to properly power wash the whole thing down before I build it back together, and it will be really clean. It'll not be like new, but it'll be 80%. I'm happy with that. Like, so other than that, that's kind of where we're at.
Well, Michael, you want to introduce our guest then for this week?
Our guest this week is someone who I have wanted to have on the podcast for a very, very long time, and this person is someone who I have looked up to for a very, very long time. Whenever I first came into the show car scene back in 2013, this guy was one of the absolute OGs, already running Dubshed, which by that stage maybe was in its 4th year, was well enough established. Our guest, of course, is none other than Gethin Evans. He is probably the ideal guest for this podcast in a way. Like,
it's funny because I know Gethin from the agricultural side.
Yes.
And it was a very much a light bulb moment whenever I learned about the whole fact that he ran Dubshed.
Where whenever I heard that he was also like an agricultural salesman, despite the fact that it was John Deere, and I went, ugh. But like, other than that, I was like, that's so cool. Like, I kind of thought like all them, and I couldn't be more wrong, to be honest, but at the time, I thought all them guys that were big in the car scene, they kind of all looked down on farmers. And I was like, they're not going, like, they're just going to look at us and go, oh, fucking boys from the country. I couldn't be more wrong. So honestly, like, Gethin has actually supported the pod nearly from day one. I reached out to him in the very early days. Episode 5 was called The Hay Shed, The Cattle Shed and The Dubshed, and we talked about Dubshed because it was coming up to Dubshed for that, funny enough. And Gethin gave me a lot of information even back then, because he sent me a message, I think even maybe episode 3, and he sent me a message going, enjoyed that. And I was like, flipping hell, like, our boys, like, so always really appreciate it when people enjoy things, and I'm very, very privileged to interview him. So look, without further ado, we had planned on this being an hour. This could have been 6 hours long and we still wouldn't have stopped talking. So without further ado, here's our guest for this week, Gethin Evans.
So Michael, are you going to introduce our lovely guest here now this evening?
I think our lovely guest could probably introduce himself. In fairness, it's not the first podcast he's done. No, we've got Gethin Evans with us. Unless you've been living under a rock, you're bound to know Gethin, especially in this country. His name is absolutely synonymous with GTI NA and the Dubshed brand. He's even wearing the hat. Gethin,
I hear you're letting Owl Type R in this year.
Did you hear that? Did you?
a brown envelope.
I knew, like, see, as soon as I crossed the band that the night there, I started feeling funny, and I was right enough.
see that envelope there underneath the table, you know. Thankfully there's no cover covering it there. It wouldn't be wild full, but you know, there's a few pound coins on it.
He's actually away to look at a deck Mark IV after this.
How much is that not there?
Gethin, you're a man who, to be honest, and I don't mean to sound like I'm crawling up your backside here, but you're a man who for a long time I would have, like 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. You're the type of person who thought I'd be lucky to even breathe the same air as you. Like, you were held in. I know I'm starting off in a very, but I'll just say how I think, how it is. Like, whenever, like, I used to see the boys like I Love Bass and all posting about you back in the day, and it was like, the whole We Know Him thing from that incident.
Time.
Yeah, like there was that, like, I was all like, oh, this is Gethin. I was like, this man is like literally car scene royalty. So for me, and I didn't tell you that before we all started in this, but genuinely, I think I've said this to you before, but like, for you to be on the podcast with me now, or with me and Connor, it's actually very special.
Michael's blushing.
So thank you very, very much for coming on, because
that's me feel like
you're that guy off YouTube that used to do the odd video with Donkey too.
That's me. Yeah.
So
I've been around. What can I say?
the bit that just made us go even more like it's like, oh, but he also works for Johnston Gilpin. That's where you spent a lot of your life. So then we were like, right, he's the big car guy, and I always thought like the car people looked down on the farmers, and then it was like, no, this guy literally sells farm machinery. So it was like another level. I was like, this man's so cool. Like, but where did it all start?
Well, I don't know. If I told you my parents were both school teachers, would you believe me?
I wouldn't have, but you did, because I actually thought you grew up on a farm.
No.
To be fair, from what Michael had said, and from seeing all the videos, to be fair, I did.
Yeah. So no, they were both teachers, but I was brought up in the country, neighbouring farm. I spent my childhood there, and without just trying to sound like old MacDonald, on that farm, there were some cars, and the fellows that run about that farm, the man's sons, like they were big petrol heads, like they're in the stock cars and stuff, and there's always out cars lying about the yard and stuff. I loved just getting in them and pretending I was driving, like when I was wee. So there was sort of a real affiliation at that point. Like from I was 6 or 7, like I was running about the farm. Like this one back when safety wasn't so much of a concern. Like, you know.
Well.
So yeah, that's where I got the farming bug from, and all things associated with agriculture. Like I just loved it, especially the machinery. Like I just loved sitting in the tractor, and again, even going just and sitting on them, steering them and pretending I was driving and stuff like that.
I think we all done that. Used to sit and pretend you were drawing silage and all.
A fact, and then all the carpet farming that went on at home then as well. But so that's where I got that. And then I suppose the car side of things, it probably comes from my granda. But look, I don't know. I think these interests are somewhat inherited, somewhat in your genes.
I would.
It's how I think at times how they present themselves. Like, you know, you obviously, like my mother always talks about me as a baby, like with a dummy hanging out my mouth, me hanging out the window looking at the tractors cutting silage down the fields, like, and me just staring at them.
Just transfixed, like.
Exactly. But like, what was there to influence me at that point?
Yeah,
so, like,
as you say, your parents were school teachers.
There has to be something in that, like, that's just in you, I think.
My first word was tractor. Well, it was probably like a weirdly pronounced version of that, but it wasn't mummy or daddy or dada or anything like that. Tractor. Yeah. So I can relate. But like, what your granddad? You say, what was he into? Like, what was?
Oh, he was into he was into anything with wheels, really. Like, him and me would have went around the car showrooms, would have went to the Belfast Motor Show and all that time. I specifically remember going to Kennedy's in Ballymena, and they were a Ford car dealer at that time.
Huh?
Oh, aye. So you know where Tesco's is? And
yeah.
Well, that used to be Kennedy's Ford dealership.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Aye. Well,
showing your age here.
That was their Ford car dealership up in there. That was a hill.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
What year did that get done away with? Was it whenever Tesco was built then?
Yeah, it was just before that. Because I bought my one of 2 new cars out of Kennedy's. That was a Ford Fiesta, and that was 90. Was that 98?
I was 4.
I was 4 also. I was being lifted into the into the old Ford, the 360s.
Who's older, you or Nigel Lamont?
Oh, definitely Nigel. Sure, he's less hair.
I know, but sure, like, I'm not that much. I'm a right
I'll
bit
not be
younger than
removing my
Nigel. My
hat.
hair's starting to go as well. Like, so.
No, Nigel's a wee bit older, not much.
I can't. I actually, that's rocked me. I can't believe it. See, like you.
But then again, you would have been maybe too young to remember before Tesco, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. Like, that Tesco one, and I thought like 2015.
Oh, it's off.
Oh, really?
Like 2000 and maybe 3 or 4 it was there.
Oh.
Your time scale's a wee bit off.
I still think things happened like 3 years ago. Like Dubshed 2016 was only like 3 years ago.
To be fair, though, COVID has fucked everybody's sense of time. Like this last 5 years, just
there's a wee gap there, like
just a bit. But so, like, did he own anything? Like, did he own a VW? Because obviously you're known.
No, look, not that I ever knew. Like, he had Beetles. My mum tells me he had Beetles back in the day, like, but not from my childhood did he have any VWs. But no, he was just a car. I just loved cars. And that was it. And I think that's where I got my love as well. Like,
did he like tinkering at the cars though?
Aye, but he wasn't much good at it now, to be fair.
Oh dear.
but my other grandfather, who was Welsh, who I actually never knew, he was supposed to be a great mechanic, like, and would have worked a lot of cars and lorries and that. I think he had a coal run. Ironically enough, being Welsh, like, but
it's, because the name, you actually said that earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, go figure, because you were like, oh yeah, no, I'm granddad was Welsh, like, and I was like, you're like Gethin. I goes, aye, because it's not a name. It's every third person in Wales I think is called Gethin, but over here it's not a name.
No, you never hear it here. No,
unless maybe someone else's Welsh background. But then so fast forward, say, to what would have been your formative or shaping years then for heading towards cars? Like, is it, you know?
I would say probably, see, when I started going to big school, like first year, second year, then I'll tell you what, it was P7 going into the first year. I got my first dial metro for the fields, and I bought it off a boy down the road for 20 quid, and he'd had it as a field car, but he had it stripped out with a wee set of spotlights and the roof and stuff, and I had great crack in that thing up and down the lane, because the neighbouring farm, we lived right at the top of the farm, and there was a concrete lane sort of down through all the back fields, and I used to rally this old metro up and down that back lane, so it was good crack now. And then in the big school, you know, there's more field cars. I bought a 2.8 Granada off of a mate in school.
Weapon.
That was an ex-police car.
Was that the old boxy shape one? Class.
Yeah, that was good crack now. But sure, I couldn't handle it. 13-year-old, like.
Back then, you probably thought it was the fastest thing.
Oh, aye.
One, like a
couldn't
V6 and all, probably.
Aye, I couldn't afford to put petrol in it, like.
Yeah, that would have been the main thing. That would have been for thirsty, like.
Yeah, that was good crack. But that time, that was the rise of max power as well. So, like, there was a whole big move towards like modified cars and stuff, like, and like I remember, I don't know if you still at school, like you had the backer books and stuff, like mine
was all car stuff, yeah.
I had mine back with like max power stuff, like, and all that.
See, Need for Speed Underground 2 and Need for Speed Underground kind of come out around them times as the PlayStation games, like whenever I was in primary school, like where you were taking like cutting stuff out of magazines and all that stuff. So actually, I've shown you a picture earlier on about me and the 272 buck reagan, and I had that early on. That was I had like magnetic stickers and max power stickers, because at those days you get the magazines, you got like a sheet of stickers in the middle of it. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had this island plastered on them, like.
And was that just the neighbour's Leyland?
Aye, yeah.
And were you put in the pit because you didn't have the driver's licence?
Yes, sir.
That seems to be the right passage.
I started off rolling then, the 35. That's where you had to serve your time rolling for a couple of years, and then
you get the buck reagan.
Get up to the buck reagan.
Last time I tried to see a 35 go up the pit, I couldn't do it. My dad had one, and my uncle decided for the crack to take in the wee 35 up there. My uncle said he was going to try and get up the pit, and the face was too steep at that stage, and he just had to give up. Like.
Aye. Well, funny, that farm where I grew up they were self-feeding side us. So
so it was just a wee ramp up to the.
There wasn't even a ramp. You tapped. There was like an upper yard, and I suppose the whole yard was kind of on a bit of a slope, so it lay well. But there's like an upper yard. You'd have tipped your road, and then just pushed down over the edge then, and gradually worked your way back to a barrier. So you were never actually climbing or going up and down a slope.
I've only recently seen one other farm that has like self-feeding, Andrew Morton's. It's not even self-feeding anymore, but it's like funny, like the tank's like a big U shape. As you like kind of, they have like the slats that goes up like the centre of the silo, and then like the cattle would have eaten the other side. Like that's something obviously you wouldn't see anymore probably.
Well, this is the same. You see, there was 2 silos. It was known as first cut and second cut silo, and then you had a row of cubicles down one side and another row down the other side. But it was all self-contained. It was actually quite well designed. Like obviously must have been 60s or that. I don't know.
I was going to say, like, it would have been.
But you know, your powder and all was sort of all on.
So it was a dairy farm as well.
It was a dairy farm. Yeah, yeah, it was.
Me, it's that sort of like, you give some boys a heart attack now if you were to suggest a setup like that now.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Boys will start going mental about efficiencies. Or boy, you're beside me probably.
Alright, calm down, would you?
Here, can I just say, it's really good I used to turn the heat on.
I know.
It's lovely in
It's
here.
so cold in here.
Yes, there's a reason why I came here.
Honestly, I am looking about us getting something in here, but I had the
You need a solarium. The horsey people have these solariums, you know, they hang from the ceiling.
And does it like provide heat?
Huh?
I suppose you could just put a heat lamp in, really.
There's no noise, like.
That actually be a really good idea, to be honest. But the problem is this shit. Even if we stuck that heater on, you'd sit here and it'd be deadly warm. See a second that heater gets turned off.
That's where your solarium thing would come in, because it's just heating there and then on the spot.
I might actually take you up on that, because it is.
I never even thought about even a heat lamp.
It's really cold in here, like.
There was it wasn't even that long ago, the real bad sort of frost there was before Christmas. We came in here, and
stop.
to be fair, like,
we were literally sitting
shivering. Like, you could, it was right, we'll go in there half an hour quick, and like by the time you came out of it,
you're chattering.
I know, it was,
your legs weren't working.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The heating's broke
Yeah,
at the
right.
minute.
Only cold.
You're probably used to sitting in a cold shed anyway, I would imagine.
I'm not so used to it these days.
Well, just reliving your childhood here.
No, that's it, right?
So then, so it's field cars and then moving up.
What was your first on the road car?
Oh, jeepers, that's actually embarrassing, to be fair, because like, it was my mum and dad's car, and it was a wee Maestro.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Have to start
Oh,
somewhere.
jeepers, they're terrible things.
Did you do anything to it with them not knowing?
No, not really, no.
the
I
handbrake
left
get-
it alone. What was my first car? It was probably a new Fiesta.
How long did that last?
3 months. It's the time of free insurance. But in that time I had it lowered, and I had K&N filter, and had I don't even know what else I had. But I remember going
Neons?
No, no neons. But I remember going to News Yard and Doak after I rode it off, and like recovering all the stuff back out of it again that I put in. So it was on. So that. There was that, and then I think after that, did I buy a 405 GLD? Straight diesel.
Oh, this man loves
And then,
I
man,
love 405s. Armchair.
I am searching into the memory bank here. What did I have after that? I tell you what I had after that. A Rover. No, that was a couple of years after that. What was it? There's the Peugeot.
You're mentioning some real good stuff here, like.
What did I have after Peugeot? I flipping can't remember, to be honest. There's a Rover 218 GSD.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting to say.
Sorry, a 418 GSD.
Are they like the?
So it was a saloon.
Aye.
And this thing was flipping classy. Like, it had full like ivory leather and stuff on it. It was a really, really comfy thing.
Are these the ones that were like the same as like the Civic platform at the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was only certain ones had a Honda engine, but and they were petrols. But this was the diesel. It was actually a nice old thing. I didn't really do much to it though. Flip me, I should have this written down, you know, for my car history. I actually went through that with Connor too at the time. What was it going through?
I've listened to it, so I can pick out a few points. I know a few.
You'll be able to give me a steer then.
Well, yeah. No, well, to be fair, a lot of what you did talk about with Connor, and we'll probably get on that in a bit, was more like about the Mk6 and all, and like your own brand and all.
Yeah.
But there was obviously a lot of the interesting stories. But to flip back round, so well then, okay, maybe I'll ask the burning question then. VWs. When did it start?
When did that start? That started probably in. I'll tell you what actually came in the notion, and we were talking about earlier on. David Ross, James Ross's brother.
Yes.
Art owners. He had a Mk3 Golf TDI or whatever it was at that time.
TD probably.
But it was a nice spec one. They had colour-coded bumpers and stuff. And I remember getting into that car, and I had a Suzuki Baleno at the time, a GSR, a wee kit. It was all show and no go. That's what they were like. But I remember getting into his Golf and thinking, flip, see the build quality in this thing compared to that Baleno. It is class. Like,
3-door or 5-door?
It was a 5-door.
Funny, my brother had a 5-door too.
And you know the advert on TV, like the golf opening, the door of the golf opening and closing sounds like a golf. That was exactly that moment for me, like. But it had a Sony radio in it and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have one of these here. So that sort of got me like hooked on like Volkswagens and stuff, or got me curious anyway. And then after that, I suppose a couple of years, that was 2000 maybe. Fast forward a year, then I got a job in Johnston Gilpin's. I got my first company van, which was a wee Vauxhall Combo. But then moved on after that to a Bora. Oh, so that was my first company car. So TDI, a PD 100 Bora.
5-speed?
5-speed, yeah. But it wasn't left alone. Like, I lowered it and I had a set of 18s on it, and I had a full on boot build in it, like, to the point I had to keep it.
That's the sign of the time.
The point that I had to keep it hidden, like, because it was a bit too far, like, two 15-inch subs, and
you couldn't actually use the back. You couldn't use the boot. No, my 207s the same.
I had to throw an old sheet over it, like, yeah. So that really sort of triggered me into modified Volkswagens, and that's like from then on it's been. I was actually thinking, because I bought myself an Audi A7 last week there, because I'm going to sell my old Passat because the family are embarrassed to get in it because I think it's an old man's car.
Oh, don't get it. Never raked a rally.
So. No, that's gone down the road, and I bought an A7, and I'm thinking, for the first time in 20 odd years, I'll not be driving a Volkswagen as a daily. Yeah. No.
But I mean, that's
an Audi, so it's
literally a Volkswagen.
That's acceptable, but it's not a Golf or Passat.
3-litre A7.
They're tiny.
It's nice. I don't know. Keep it for a while, like, and see. It's a nice big thing. It just caught my eye, like.
I remember whenever I first heard the 3-litre straight pipe. They sound unbelievable.
An A6 in front of me in McDonald's was the first time I heard a 3-litre straight pipe, and I was like, what the fuck is in that? And then twigged, it's, obviously the black smoke was diesel, and was like, my father's an A4 3-litre B9, and it can go shut off a shovel.
Was it Fazan? Fazan from Fazan Ali from Fife. He's one of the boys. He was the first A5. He had his A5 with a 3-litre, and it was straight piped, and it sounded unbelievable.
Sounds like a petrol nearly.
Yeah, just an octave lower. It's really, really good sounding engine. Like. Bit off topic, but anyway.
I know. Well, now, boys, to be honest, I wouldn't be in my straight piping now, I have to say.
But you've now come to this side of the band, so you'll be cutting the cat out of that thing before you
but I suppose I could compare it to like an SQ5, with that. Like it sounds a bit better. But no, it's a great engine actually. That V6 TDI, they're flipping leaky, but they are what they are. But they are good out.
As long as the DP exercise correctly and all on them.
Yeah.
Amarok's would have that.
Yes.
Yep. Because I remember.
Is it DPF being too small?
Something like that. Because literally, whenever I said to you I bought one, you were like, "Go, get the DPF out, get it mapped, do away with it."
They are a flipping disaster. See, for DPFs.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about an Amarok or what way it's designed. I can't explain it, but they're all the same.
I assumed it was too small. It was being choked. But
I don't know. Like, I had one and bought it. It was through work, obviously, and 23,000 mile. It was a dark label. I wanted something nice and specific. Like, and I spent a wee bit of time looking for it. Found this one, 2018 with 23,000 mile on it, and bought it from a dealer in Wolverhampton, drove it home, and I just plugged it in when I got home, just as because I'm nosy like that, and make sure there was no codes in it and all the rest of it. Sure enough, there's a flipping DPF code in it. The engine management light wasn't on.
P24AE.
I can't remember what it was now,
Swans,
but
who they have at the
it was
minute.
damaged or missing substrate, which is cracked DPF.
Yeah.
That's what that means. So I'm like on the phone to the dealer here. DPF's cracking this here. It's gonna no, that's a filter. That's not under warranty. So I'm like, sorry, they've literally just bought this thing and it needs a DPF. And there was a quote sent for like $3,500 from Donnelly's to fix it. So I was like, no, here, not having this. So got in touch with Volkswagen, the customer service, and thankfully they were able to sort it out with a bit of goodwill and stuff. But flipping, within 2 months, the new DPF had gone again. And like nobody could figure out why. There was nothing else wrong with the pickup, nothing.
Was it anything to do with was the DPF at the turbo, wasn't it? Because
no, it's not.
They're right.
'Cause I
They're
know
down. No,
obviously-
no, they're rightly down.
Aye.
They're rightly
Because
down.
obviously the Mark 6s and
Yeah.
the Mark 5s had the DPFs as well.
Aye.
They're obviously nearly we're nearly the Catas. They'd be quite far from
That's
the
where
turbo.
there's Amarok as well.
And then obviously they tried to rectify that in the Mark 7s by putting the DPF at the turbo.
Yeah.
To try and obviously, and that's obviously where the fans will come on half the time. Unless it's because your V6 is producing more soot and it's not getting heat to burn it off.
But it's not a thing. Like that V6 is in so many different
That's the
applications.
same engine as
Like
Cayenne, I think.
KN, Touareg, Q7s, Q5s, A4s, A6s.
Yeah.
It's used quite a lot, like, but it's only Amaroks that seems to be a problem.
Unless the Amarok, because it was designed originally for the 2 litre and they're using the same DPF.
That's
from
what
the
I
2
wonder,
litre.
because it's a 2-1, because I'm pretty sure it's one DPF for both banks.
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe the 2-1 is it.
I've no idea, but anyway, I
Saw's also sorts it out.
Autotune sorted it out,
Aye, good enough.
and
Allegedly.
I never looked back. Allegedly, so
So
some might say.
I mean, we wouldn't promote anything like that actually on this podcast. Keep everything standard, folks. Don't ever touch your DPF or EGR blue. Never ever map an
Sure,
angle.
MOT
that's
centres are now
dangerous.
bringing in the technology, are they not?
Yeah, so I think that new MOT centre in Mollusk is going to have the technology to test for DPF.
So just MOT centre.
Just for by pure chance, I'll never ever book it.
I have to go to Balmoral on Friday. This is class. Like, I have to take a 1923 Rolls Royce
Sorry, what?
on my car transport for an inspection because the DVLA has lost its registration details, so it has
Funny that.
has to be taken there to be inspected to make sure it exists.
A 103-year-old car.
Aye, like this thing's ancient. It's 5 metres long, so it's the length of my transporter, and it weighs about
Probably.
within the legal limit.
Yeah. Gross train weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That
Yeah.
what engine's in it? Like 31 litre
I don't know.
4-cylinder.
I'll get you down on Friday, but it's pretty cool. Like, I've seen it.
That's class.
Hmm.
But the fact, 103 years old.
I know it's
And it obviously hasn't rotten yet.
no.
But it hasn't spent most of his time in dry storage or big
Aye,
side.
I would say so. Like,
That's insane.
yeah,
Bit off tangent there, but
it was off times.
back to somewhat the chronological order then. So
Back in the day of the bore, 2 seconds, was anybody doing engine work to the PDs back then?
Nah, it's very minimal. That was the days of the tuning boxes and like that
Van
was,
Aken stickers.
Aye, yeah, and Van Aken actually existed then, not like the
Was it a building firm or something Van Aken was?
No, they
they're
were
tuning box
They were a
company.
Dutch tuning
they
company.
done tuning boxes.
right.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but they haven't been in business in years.
No.
But yet people still put the stickers
There
in the
were
screen.
quite a
Considering they put stickers in D-turbos, which is literally a manual pump.
Yeah,
Paddy Lynch, I'm looking at you.
But they do look cool to be fair, the stickers like back in the day.
yeah. No, flip. I remember I had a tune it box on it. So I don't know if you've heard of Tune It. They're an Italian company. But I'll never forget. Went to Scottgrass, me and one of the fellas in work.
Yes.
And went to Scottgrass anyway, and we were coming back, and we were late for the boat. Like, I would never be late for anything, but I was late this day, like, for the boat. But we were flat, like, along that A75.
At the speed limit.
The flipping thing kept cutting out, but it was the tuning box.
Oh, really?
Aye. But the only way they get around it was to key her off and on again.
Aye, that's a great thing about bores. Used
So
to be
you're like-
N75 fault, turn off, turn back on.
Yeah. Whenever you're doing 60 mile an hour, you were keying her off and back on
sometimes
again.
50 in some of them spots and along.
That's right.
Where the average speed cameras are, of course.
Yep.
Law-abiding citizen that you are, of course.
So yeah, that was the Bora. That was the company car. But then that was 2003 maybe that was.
So that was a fresh car.
Well, it was the car was like I bought the car. We bought the car. The company was there 5,000 mile on it or something at that time. Like,
and there was you out putting springs and whatnot.
oh, aye, sir.
But like, fair play to the company just saying, do you know what, we're gonna. Did they not catch on?
They didn't mind. They were all car guys too. Like,
there's a lot to be said for that.
The owners, like, so they didn't really care that much about it. Like,
just look at the young club, like, fair play. That's class.
So yeah. So
Coilovers, I suppose, weren't really a thing, and
not really so much. No, like if coilovers were expensive, then like you wouldn't have had the same.
Would it have been a set of KWs or something? Was maybe all you would have had, like £1,600.
KWs or H&Rs or something. They've always existed, or Bilsteins. They've been about for years. No, so there's that, and then I suppose fast forward a couple of years, 2005, got married, and that same year I acquired, because just freshly married, a Mk3 Golf. So there was a neighbouring farm stroke guy that rented out units and stuff. There was a boy who worked there at cars, and he had this wee red Mk3 GTI, and I was like, that's class. Like
8 valve or 16
wee 8 valve. And so I fell in with this car, a wee black one, a wee black 8 valve. Oh, here, I missed out. Hold on a wee second. Rewind.
Yeah.
There was the Mk3 Astra I was telling you about earlier.
Oh,
fuck, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That was
a dark time for you, was it?
That must have been when was that there? 02 or 03 or something. There's a friend of mine.
He just can't put you down being a Vauxhall man, like.
Yeah, so he had actually started this project of an Astra, and it was a 1400 Merit, and that was the time body kits and stuff were cool.
That was
and he had put a proper Riger wide arch kit. Like, nobody was doing that.
That was like the coolest of the cool back then too. Like,
it was like, so it was a wide arch kit, and he had a set of 18-inch AZEV. I think they were AZEV 8s or AZEV ZFs or something they were.
What were they, a 6-spoke or
No, they were a 5-spoke, like a deep dish, but they were different to an A. No. So he didn't get the thing finished, and he had the wheels in the boxes, so I agreed to buy it off him and finish it. And I bought it and put a red top in it then, and Digi Dash and stuff like that there.
Mark II Astra GTE.
Yeah.
Is that all plug and play? Because the only reason I'm probing you on that is because you mentioned it earlier, and I think that's worth because it's so cool.
It is cool.
So of its time.
It's still cool today, I think. Like,
yeah.
Plug and play. I think it was like I can't remember now.
Iron out, maybe.
Possibly. It all worked. Like, and it was grand. Like, kept the car a wee while, and then I sold it to a guy, and I'd heard within a week then I'd it written off. So
that was standard behaviour for Astras back then.
Never saw the car again. Like, but yes, then fast forward to the Bora and getting married and getting the Mk3 and all that, and that's when things really started going sort of
south,
all guns blazing. Then at that, so. Bought that wee car, and it just lay in storage for a bit, and I had fully intended to do a VR6 conversion on it, so I went to
What was the inspiration for the VR6? Just, I want to do this because it's cool.
PVW. Like, that's you didn't have you had the forums and you had the magazines, and that was it. So a combination of those two, like I joined GTI and stuff, the forums at that time, that's where you got a lot of your info. Club GTI, VW Vortex, all those ones where you got your
Vortex.
That's where you got your information.
Was like Vortex was it like Armature for Volkswagen then?
That you're thinking of Vortex.
Yes.
Vortex was kits. No, VW Vortex was an American forum.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yes. And the Americans were always doing a lot of stuff we weren't, like turbo and stuff and all that. But that's where you got your info, and you got your inspiration from PVW and Golf Plus, and there was like obviously Redline, Fast Car, Max. Like there was a plethora of magazines back then. That was the thing.
Absolutely.
So I suppose that's what inspired a lot of people.
Just surprised it was a VR6, not a 1.8T, because there's a while at Redline, everything they were pushing was 1.8T, 1.8T, 1.8T.
But I think you're probably too early at that point.
Okay, yeah.
Because like the 1.8T at its oldest would have been what, 2098 would have been the first 18T, so it would have been like 7-year-old at that stage. Like,
boys weren't really ripping them out of cars just yet.
Yeah, they hadn't been exploited to the same level, whereas like VR6s have been about since like 1992.
Yeah, okay.
So would they be a better engine though at the same time?
I'd be biased and say yes, because I'd still claim to be a VR6 man. Like, but
I've always heard the 1.8Ts would be quite soft on it.
Well, they're called the BAM engine. And sometimes what they do, I think, as long as you stay below
the
3.
The BAM was a specific engine code.
That was the 225.
And it was the one to have.
It's it was the one that was in the Leon Cupra in the KO4 or KO3S.
It had a KO4, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it had a KO4 and it had a different inlet manifold, and there was different internal hardware and stuff. But the TT was the big one that had it.
Connor McCann's, I think, has a BAM and that does it.
It probably does actually. Yeah,
I know it was because the TT. Then you also got the 3.2, because a lot of boys used it for like front wheel drive, like Maguire, perfect example, front wheel drive Vento conversion, because the same engine as an R32.
It is, yeah, that's right.
Just doesn't have all the fancy stuff.
For the 9N Polo, GTA had the 1.8T, and the Mk3 Golf GTA had the 1.8T as well. For no ones, 300 brake would be doing well to get out of 1.8T in the Polo.
I think 300 was like the magic number. Once you go above this, it's forged pistons, like.
Yeah.
But here, I mean, the VR6, there's something really cool about them. Like, they're such a weird looking engine.
Oh, they're so quirky. Like, you know, and have you ever seen the head off one? Mm-hmm. So like they've a really unusual cylinder arrangement. Like, but it's a single one block, one head.
But it's staggered.
And the V it's a narrow angle V.
Yeah.
So that's the R is German for his narrow angle. It's 15 degrees. But I went to McKeever's down in Cold Island. So I'm sure you know those boys there. That's that Dwayne McKeever.
I know Dwayne. Know Dwayne well.
So his dad had a silver Mk3 VR6 in for braking, and he sold me the whole car. So I was able to get the whole car and get the engine out of it, and I was able to pull it all down and detail it and stuff. I didn't really do much mechanically to it other than like do all the seals and O-rings and stuff like that. But I had painted the block, polished in that manifold and all this, and the time of that ready, then I was getting stuck into this black thing, and it was like an absolute teabag.
Oh really?
It was a complete and utter teabag, and I know the Volkswagen guys are going to be laughing right now, because like the Mk3s generally are the laughing stock.
Yeah.
In terms of rust and rot. But so I sort of took the decision at that point then, look, I'm going to be looking for something a wee bit better. So it was 2006 by this stage, and I found this wee Mystic Blue VR6 in Canal down County Down, and I bought it from a guy, and that's the car I still have today.
Oh, fair play.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, it hasn't been on the road for 10 years now this year. It's been off the road. But, so I went full send on it, like, and stripped it the bare shell and painted it. And
this was probably unheard of for Mk3s at the time, was it? Over here. In America, obviously, they're different, but over here. Probably.
There was one or two on the island of Ireland. Like, I remember in particular, there was a guy, Paul, what's his surname? Paul something. It was a green one he had, and it was built just before mine. I liked it, and that was a VR6 with like colour concept seats and stuff in it. But no, I'd pulled mine down, and it was over a period probably of 2 years before it was in the road. So I think it was I'm going to say 08. It had its first castle well, and like retrimmed the caros and stuff in it, and all that there. So, and that was a constant evolution until 2016 in different guises. Like first of all, it's naturally aspirated VR6.
Yeah. 2.8 was it?
2.8 12 valve, yeah. 5-speed manual, and then I supercharged it. That was for one season, changed up, put an orange cage and stuff in it. The first wheels I ran were like an R8 Cup Raider, which I bought at Motorsport and Spares.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harold and Mark.
So bought those on, put them on at first, and then they come off.
This isn't the one that's now purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's its colour. It's Mystic Blue. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I thought Mystic Blue, you got like this really wanky looking blue in the Mark 3s.
Aye, that's it.
No, it's definitely not. It's like an old pale blue.
Aye, right, okay.
But you would have seen this in like more base spec cars.
You got a Jazz Blue.
Nope, not Jazz Blue. It's like a real light metallic blue.
Oh, I know the colour you mean.
That's the one. You've seen that typically on the cars with like the textured bumpers.
Yes, that's right.
Sort of a more poverty spec, for want of a better word.
Yeah, it's like a silvery blue.
Yeah, I actually thought that was what.
No, Mystic Blue Pearl. It's a purpley blue colour. Like it's
okay. That
LC5L, not the bore you or anything like, but so wee details don't leave you.
Of course.
But no, so. The wheels R8 Cup Raiders, and then I put on a set of Gaudis.
Yes.
They were good wheel. 17-inch Gaudis. Supercharged it. Then I put air in it.
And air.
And a cage in it.
Air, is this 2009? Air was probably relatively unheard of in this country.
It would have been like, at that time, there was no airlift.
No, it was Rayburn bags probably.
I was Rayburn. And it was terrible.
Yeah, they were known for leaking.
It was shocking. It wasn't even for leaking because you could sort the leaks out.
Two-way manual setup, wasn't it?
It just was the geometry was all wrong. Like the shocks were the wrong length, and the airbags the wrong size. Like it handled like a flipping, like a boat, like.
Bag of nails, like.
Aye.
Would have been nice for a show, but a disaster to have
a
nice drive on it.
It sat really well. Like it looked good. Like I've some good pictures of it. Like all of my dubs sitting, and like it was good.
It's closed now. It's finished.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
That's
I know.
Sign of the times.
I know. Just puts us first in the show calendar now, though.
It does. Obviously, we'll get on a Dubshed in a bit because that's something I want to really get into as well. But
yeah, so I'll quickly sort of run through that Mark 3. Like I went on to change the colour of the Gaudis, I think. The air system, that's a wee thing. I had a floating air tank in it.
Right.
So I made a rear strut brace. And I put two wee bosses in on the end of the tank and piped the air line in through the strut brace.
That's class.
So it was like
really cool.
So it was like a floating tank. It was quite cool.
That's
like,
class,
at the time,
actually.
There's no one else was doing it. Like today, it wouldn't look like anything the way they do the builds.
Like at the time, happens. You walk so they could run.
Yeah,
kinda.
And I'd done it myself as well. Like so, I'd got the wee bosses laser cut and all. So yeah, so had it supercharged, and then the next year I turboed it. So it's 12 valve turbo, and I eventually sold that setup to Nigel, who put it in his Crado, and I took the car off the road then for a year and a bit and did a 24 valve turbo, like a proper forged build on it, like. So that was over a period of a couple of years. I think it was 2013 it was back out. Car made like 535 brake or something at that
front
time.
Wheels?
Yeah. Like at that time, like see anything over 500 brake, like it was it was sharp.
500's terrifying.
It's nothing really now. Like you can tune a Golf R to that.
But no. Yes,
but
no.
Mark 3
but a Mark 3 Golf, it's different.
A Mark 3, you've no ABS. Well, maybe yours did have ABS, but you've probably no traction control.
Mine did have ABS at one time.
Like your right foot is literally what's stopping you from going under the hedge.
Yeah.
And then obviously all front wheel. Yeah.
Yep.
Like.
Yep.
LSD surely in the gearbox now?
Yeah, it quaffed diff in it, and it was actually had diesel gearing in it, so like
It's really long geared.
It was really long geared, so that made it like it wasn't really snappy off the line, but that was equally good for the drivetrain.
Yeah, of course.
It did preserve it. But see, once that thing got rolling, like my goodness, that was quick.
Was it laggy?
It was laggy, yeah.
So what turbo did you have in it?
It was a Precision 6266, and it was a 0.96 AR, like, so it was a fairly big turbo.
Meaty turbo. What were you?
Did I just say turbo? It's a fairly big turbo.
That's a big boy to spool, like.
Aye,
I know in today's standards, people are like, 62, 66. But I've seen a 62, 66 and a chaser making 670, like.
Yeah.
So it's a.
It was right skill with a turbo.
I suppose it's a 2.8 as well, or did you have her bored out or anything
no,
like that?
That was a 2.8. No, it was just standard bore 24 valve head. So yeah, look, fast forward a couple of years, I'd done kind of the rounds with it, a few different sets of wheels and stuff on it, and eventually
You should never have sold the AC Schnitzers.
I should never. That's the thing. Had the AC Schnitzers after the Gaudis, and they hands down are my favourite wheels that I
They're
had
class.
on it. And if and when I build it again, that's what I'd like to put it on, because I've never seen another one on them since.
It's
Yeah,
that was.
It's a great combo.
I was starting to like come onto the scene as I was seeing them pictures.
Aye.
Like, so what's this, around 2012?
307
207.
207 at that time, yeah.
207 hydraulic
Grey one?
suspension,
Aye.
yeah.
I remember that car.
As a Dubshed,
You
2014.
were.
Yep. I was.
You were one of the first of the elite.
Yep. Right, there is this very specific video of that Mk3.
Aye, yeah.
So talk us through that. This is
Aye.
kind of where the whole hashtag We Know Him thing come from.
Aye.
Isn't it?
Say, the whole thing got blown out of proportion, like, but yeah. So we did a dyno day in it doesn't really matter now. We did a dyno day at East Coast Customs,
Yeah, it's okay.
and me and my wisdom says here, for the crack, let's do a top speed run, because the gearing in this car's got diesel gearing and it's geared for a theoretical 235 mile an hour. That's all. Well, we've done the sums, and that's what it should have done at the wheels. But we all know, like, anyway, so
What tires have you running?
6th gear, I was running Fulgans, 195/40, 8 to 17s, and didn't think of that now. So the top speed run commenced, and 165 mile an hour. One of the front tires just decided to delaminate, and the front bumper was off the car, lucky enough, because I needed off to get on the dyno. But the whole thing was on video. So one of our boys was there videoing the day and all the rest of it, and that was then uploaded to YouTube, and the whole thing went viral. And it looked a lot worse than actually what it was.
I don't think there was any damage, was there?
No, that's the funny thing. Like, it pebble dashed inside the wing, and it destroyed the splash guard.
I mean,
But it didn't do the rim any harm. It didn't do the wing any
or the
harm.
arch.
But
that's mental. It didn't.
so as I say, it looked a lot worse than
Like
it did. But
you see that happen drift cars now, and it blows the back end out of them.
yeah, I know. I flip it went off with some crack, like.
I would say, were you not like
So that was
terrified?
195/40s on an 8 by 17.
Yeah,
That was literally what I drove about in for years.
it's not
it's not
mad stretch.
stretch,
Like.
like-
It's like a nice amount of stretch. 'cause
Yeah.
If you went any more, you'd be 185/35s.
Yeah.
And they are rubber bands.
Yeah,
One of their bad brutes.
No, you
I
couldn't
get
sell them.
done with the cops for being on them. But yeah, but they've shown that much lip, like, so.
And
Can't
you
be
weren't
fault.
you weren't warned that day whatsoever about
No.
the police being about.
We'll move on.
So, all right.
I just thought.
He listens, thankfully, all the time.
So then, at what point did you decide? So that was that in around the time you decided, then I'm just going to put this car away?
No. That was. The car was on the road for another 2 or 3 years after that, a couple of years. And I think just at that time I'd felt, do you know what? What more can I do to this?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how much more of the rev range did you have at 165?
I don't know, because I wasn't dying on it, but like I was on. He was only. I don't think he had got 6th yet. I think he was still in 5th.
Huh.
Or was he? No, he had to have been in 6th.
Not necessarily. He could have been topping out in 5th. Or he was
Can't remember.
bogged down low one.
Like, that thing did 70 mile an hour in 2nd.
That's mental.
It was like it was.
That'd have been a good drag racing. Well,
No.
It was a good. It would have been a good, like, one of them rolling race things.
Yeah,
like
1 mile runs.
Aye. I wouldn't do it again, that gearing, to be honest. Not for our roads.
No,
It's.
but it probably saved your life in a way.
Aye. Didn't save my tire or my dyno fame.
Can you imagine if you had a shorter range gearbox? Nah, you'd still be peeling 5th gear. Like,
Aye. I know.
You'd be coming into a corner and the car would just be, you'd be forging your own path. Like,
Yeah, I know.
but seriously, such a cool bit of kit. Like,
I know.
And
I
then-
know. I still have it. Like, it's been. I
Is
took
it
it off
still
the
built?
road. It's not. I took the engine out of it. I had all these intentions to put 4-wheel drive in it and stuff, and if everything's sitting there to do it, I'll probably never get around to it. Like, I would like to put the wee car back on the road, probably just in like a natural aspirated form and just as a wee show car.
2.8. Would you go 24 valve or 12 valve?
I probably put like a 3.2 in it or something.
Yeah. So back to, keep it front wheel drive. And
yeah.
So a TT engine or something like that. The only thing is, boys have copped onto that now, like, so they're worth a fortune. You can't buy them for what you used to.
No, they're still not too bad, like, you know, and I've enough of the other stuff sitting there to sort of sell and
you could
justify it, like, so.
About. So then, moving on from that, then, like, you kind of took a bit of a break, I suppose, did you?
I actually gave the cars up for a year, and it near killed me, like.
It's the hardest year of your life.
Because my daughter was born in 2009, obviously, she's coming 17 this year, and then my wee fella was born 2014, so that kind of changed things. Like, I was working, and then I had a shed down the road which was renting. I was doing a wee bit of work on cars for people and working on my own car, so things were getting hectic at home and the second child and stuff, so I got to the point where, you know what, just have to try and
you need
concentrate on work and family and keep it that way for a bit. I flipping near wrecked me, boy. See, not having something to footer at or work at, like.
I think it would drive me mad too.
So the following year, then I bought another Mk3 for the crack.
Sure, that went down well below
it was
history repeating itself.
I don't know. I can't remember now. But anyway, it was a nice wee Mk3. Now that's still run about. It was a BBM, bright blue metallic, which was a Mark II colour. Like, I'd never seen it in a Mark III, but it was original factory colour. But this was a 92
early
Mark III. It was a GA Reg.
Oh, so very, very early.
Very, very first one. So it was a cracking me car, recars and stuff, but sure, look, I painted the whole car again and left it. I did like a wee sort of a 90s throwback on it. Right. So put a set of 17-inch Jose Polaris on it, a DTM exhaust.
That'd be cool.
Anniversary fogs and stuff like that. It was a really nice looking wee car.
And just a sort of a budget show build.
Pretty much. So built that, sold it, bought an S4, didn't like it. Sold it.
Did it give a lot of bother the S4?
It was a B5. I'd always a notion for one.
Class looking. They're so cool. But are they not partials?
I don't know. I didn't keep it long enough to find out.
Was it Nigel had wild bother with his?
No, he had an RS6, but no, his car was okay. But he just got afraid of the maintenance. Like.
Oh, well, yeah.
But no, I had that very, very short time.
The B5 is the one where the body grill was in the bonnet, technically. So
1998.
For funny, when I done the summer in England, the lad that owned the local shop had an S4, a red one, Avant, and then he eventually ended up getting an RS4, a yellow one.
A B5, same
B5,
shape.
Yep, same shape. And the two of them were both in 20s with the ultra low coilovers on them. And just sat
they look so good.
They do.
So good.
Yeah.
And he would have took that to the shows and that, and well, obviously just because it was in the cars that, you know, he used to fly by you and scare the side out of you whenever you were in the tractor and that, but
yeah. No, they're I loved the look of them, like, and all the rest of it. And I suppose what inspired me, we'd done Santa Pod for like a number of years in a row. Always used to go to Edition 38 and Santa Pod. We'd done Santa Pod on the Saturday and Edition 38 on the Sunday. But there was this B5 S4 was there for consistently. Like, he must have lived nearby or was always at Santa Pod. But that thing was class, like, seeking up the track, and it was a real weapon. That was a black one. And that was from then. I says, I quite fancy one of them someday. But I got that, and that didn't warm to it.
Too flat.
And it was like, the thing was well enough tuned. It was like 400 brake. It was like hybrid KO3s and stuff on it. And I don't know, it just didn't.
Just not for you?
Just didn't float my boat. So I sold that and bought an R32, Mark IV R32.
Very class.
Yes, it was a lovely looking car.
So blue?
No, it was black, 3-door. Put a set of BCs in it. An exhaust and a set of 19-inch speed lines for the machine faces. It looked really good, but it's just
they're slow. Gee, they sound incredible.
They sound great and look great, but they're not
there,
and they're not even comfortable. Like, and Lee's gonna Lee's going to beat me around the head when he sees me. Like, but the seats are terrible.
I love our 32 seats. I love them.
I hate.
I had them
I
in
like
my.
the look of them. I hate
I
sitting
had
in
them in my Raven Blue Bora. I loved them. I thought they were
Conic
class.
seats. No, I don't like them at all. But anyway, that's
You
opinion.
might disagree with me here. Well, you probably will, but out of all the Golfs and all the shapes, I think the Mark IV is probably the nicest looking.
I love Mark IV.
I have to say, I think a Mark IV is really well proportioned. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Especially the 5 doors, not so much, but the 3 doors definitely.
yeah.
They're like a timeless look, like your 306.
The Mark II big bumper is probably the nicest looking of all the Golfs in my humble opinion.
And probably after the Mark IV, in my opinion, the Mark 7 got it right again. The Mark 6 was in regards.
I like the Mark 6. They were a nicer looking Mark 5.
Yeah.
I like them all. I actually do like all generations of Golfs. I'd take any one of them.
Okay, of course.
Oh yeah.
They are.
And like, I'd love a white Mark 1 GTI. That's on my bucket list. I just think they're just like timeless.
I don't know. I just prefer the Connor's Mark II. Like that on the 3 spokes and all. Like that just does it for me. I think that thing's class. Like
Yeah.
You used to have the cream Mark
Dale
II.
Feathers on hydraulics.
Was
BBS RSs. Do you remember that?
Dale Feathers. Aye, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was unbelievable.
like the cream and
He'd
all
done the hydraulics.
looks so well in it too. And the wee the
Gold
plastic
spikes.
arches and all that there.
Yeah,
you know,
gold spikes in the BBS RSs. No, yeah, that's a throwback there. I loved that car.
I remember that there. Right enough. That's good 10 years ago.
That's 2015. That's one of the reasons why I love Mark II so much. Is that car? Is that exact car? Dale was always into things like Astros and courses and Vauxhall Man, and the next thing, bang,
Right.
shows up with the Mark III or Mark II, and it was class. Loved it.
I know. Never seen since.
What? So then you've got obviously now the Golf R, the
when
Mark
did you
6.
acquire her?
Yeah. So I had. Well, I have the R32 and I sold it and bought an edition 30 then.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that.
So
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
had a red edition 30 that had stage 2 plus the net and 370 odd horsepower, and it was a cracking wee car. Really liked it, and a boy plagued me to sell it, and I sold it. And then I bought the Mark 6, and I bought it needing it was stuck in first gear. So I got it cheap.
Yeah.
And I love getting something cheap and being able to fix it. And as you can affiliate mail, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Kind of the name of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You seem to make things better though, Gethin.
I don't know about that now,
I tend to blow things up.
but then that I figured about that thing, trying to get it to go, and bought a gearbox for it from trainers, and turned out it was the wrrong gearbox and all
that's
that
right.
crack.
Was it an S3 gearbox?
No, it was a TDI Quattro gearbox.
Oh,
Like it wasn't
okay.
even near it.
Oh, wow.
So
S3 gearbox might have actually worked.
aye, but sure, that was a rookie mistake. I should have checked the code on it when I bought it.
Here,
But
these things
I
happen.
bought it from trainers, and it was written on it Audi S3, which should have worked. But it
That's
didn't.
where I was getting S3.
Yeah,
Aye.
but it didn't work. It was a diesel box. So yeah,
Was it something that it would jumped out of gear? So you had it half working or something?
I had it in the car and working, but it just wasn't. Like it was trying to get the 6th gear all before 2,000 RPM. Like it just wasn't working. Like so, I ripped it all out, and then COVID hit,
Lovely.
and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to pull this box apart, because I couldn't get anybody to tell me anything about DSG gearboxes or how to repair them or anything like that. And COVID was there and plenty of time in my hands, so decided to open it up. And do you know what? It's actually not that complicated.
The mechatronic side of things.
But the mechatronics is completely separate. So like it comes out of the front of the box. You
Okay.
you can take it out and set it to the side. You know, it's just basically it's like a big circuit board with solenoids on it, and like it just control. That's a
I think there's a
controller.
company in Dungannon now can sort all
Yes,
that out.
I've heard that. Yeah, is that Hobson, or is
don't
it
know.
somebody else?
I don't know.
Oh, it could be somebody else.
I know one fella who used them recently, but he used to be always had to send everything to England, and now
ECU testing.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I have heard that boy actually, and heard good reports. But no, I split the box, and I found a wee a bearing slider. So on the selectors, they're obviously on wee bearing sliders, but they're like a wee it's like a plastic or I don't know what material it's made out of anyway, but one of them had collapsed and the selector was jammed in against the side of the gearbox housing, and so I got another selector for it and built it all back up. And
how does one acquire a selector? Was that brand new? Did you have to get one out of another box?
No, I got one from a crowd in England who were transmission repair specialists, and they happened to have a second hand one sitting and assured me it was in good shape. So,
happy days.
That's what I used.
So, what
was the price then to fix the DSG box whenever you done it yourself?
£25.
Fucking hell. And normally people quote 2,500.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you'd have taken it to the right place, or maybe the wrong place, they would have charged you that as well.
Aye, but you know, like honestly, boys, you would have seen it. Like, see, as soon as you took that bell housing off and looked in, like you could see what was wrong.
Like, that shouldn't be there.
Exactly, you know, it was lying like off to the side. So. Look, I was fortunate enough. It was an easy fix. It could have been something else I couldn't have fixed.
Just spent the money that you saved in a gearbox doing the whole underside and everything of that car.
Well, then it sort of got out of control. Then that
seems to be a common thing here,
yeah. Sort of way.
Would you be a bit OCD?
Maybe, I don't know.
I've seen the spec list you had up. I think you still have the car.
Yeah.
You had the notion of selling it.
I can't use it.
And looked at it and
guarantee get in the Dubshed.
And I was like,
I seen this.
Nobody has done anything like that to Mark 5 or Mark 6. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting to do it to Mark 4s now.
Nobody's stupid enough.
But
but that thing's immaculate.
I didn't realise, because I've seen it in the flesh, and I think you touched on this in the podcast with Connor as well. Like, you don't. Well, it was you or Connor said it. You don't really actually appreciate that car till you actually start looking at it, and only then you're like, "Oh my god!"
Like, I just like my cars, and I don't necessarily. I don't like building a look at me car. I'm not. That's not who I am. Like, I'm not. I'd rather.
You're not me.
I'm like, you said it. No, I'm much more of a less is more.
Yeah.
And do it subtly and all that. I don't know. I just like doing it, and I get more of a kick out of building a thing.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that. As much. Do you know what? The Mark 6 is an absolutely class thing to drive. Honestly, like, you see, for the thing being on 19s and being slow and all the rest of it, the thing handles so well.
But have you not put a right bit of time and all into setting up the suspension?
It's all fully polybushed, and like there's H&R anti-roll bars on it. I say it's KW suspension as well. Like, so it's good stuff. Like,
is it rattling? What, being on full polybush?
No.
Really?
No.
Surprised at that.
And people tell me, polybushes, you couldn't sit in them. No. There's not a thing I could.
Maybe it's more so polybushed engine mounts that kind of tend to cause them problems.
I did. I had a set of Revo mounts in that car, and then I did a balance shaft delete, which is a thing you do in those, rightly or wrongly. And
it's one less thing to go wrong.
Well, it is, but that caused a lot of vibrations with those engine mounts. Like, you could feel it through your feet. Yeah. So I pulled them out actually, and I got a guy in England called PB Mounts, and he uses original engine mounts. So I sent him a set of mounts, and he basically fills them with a bit of polyurethane. And
good to know.
And then he lacquers them all. Like, it actually looks nice, but looks factory.
Practical as well.
But they're really, really good. So that's what I run now, and that's does the job. Like.
Class.
Why a Mark 6 at the time?
I had actually always wanted one.
I thought it was just because the money was right.
Oh, well, the money was right. Like, no, it actually that was my target. I had a wee bit of a plan whenever I bought that other Mark 3 and stuff. I had a wee plan to sort of buy and sell my way up into one. Yeah. Because at that time, like, they were still flipping. They could have been 18, 20 grand. You know that.
They held the money really well.
Still holding their money.
They're still holding their money well. So there was a wee bit of a plan there. Like, that was kind of like the pinnacle golf.
The end goal, yeah.
You know, at that time. So yeah, and I love the look of them. And given when they were produced was during the crash, there's so few of them sold.
So they are
rare. Like,
Yeah, like I know people think, oh, it's just a Golf R, but like in actual
very
fact,
few
the Mark
Golf
6,
Rs.
there was 850 something sold in the UK and Ireland, like, so there's actually very few of them
I
about.
think I've seen like 3 in this country. I think there's a red one around Belfast.
Aye.
I mean, seeing the odd blue one around Ballymena. But
Ach, they are. You do see them about, like from time to
They're
time,
not common.
but they're not.
It's not like a Mark 7.
It's not like a Mark 7. You see them everywhere.
to be fair, they must have sold a lot of bumpers because every third Mark 6 Golf now has an R bumper.
I know
on.
that's the crack.
looks so well on them,
But to be fair, like
But that's the crack on the R20 forums. Like there's more reps about than our real ones.
100%.
they're all easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get on a talk about the hat you're wearing, but before that, I do want to actually get on to the whole agriculture side of things because, as you know, everybody knows you from Dubshed and whatnot. All, but obviously, we're farmers in this podcast.
It's a fun fact, I know you more so from doing the videos and for Johnston Gilpin, and then it was between Adam and yourself. It was only from there I twigged. Fuck! So the same man that sells the John Deeres is actually the man in the building cars, and they're like, did you not catch on? I was like, no, and take it that what you will, but yeah. So I'm probably the only person that was living under that rock that didn't
You were
realise.
living under. Again, really good agriculture salesman. Does Dubshed? What's that?
Yeah, I suppose that was the three strings to my bow. I suppose you could say was the cars, the tractors, and Dubshed. But you want to hear a wee bit about the...
Absolutely.
So Michael, before you go to drift days in the Sierra, what do you do?
bold of you to assume it's working, but if it is, I'd probably go to CDM Sport, and even if it wasn't, I would still go to CDM Sport to get parts because Connor can provide like all the custom bits for your car. So anything from ECU bits to clutch bits to brakes to literally anything you need, you can get.
Drift car, performance car specialist. Get on to cdmsport.life.
Adam,
Yes.
you like cleaning cars?
I do, yes. Anything but yours.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you were cleaning,
Yep.
what would you use?
Well, a bit of JTech kit.
Oh, lad. How would you do it? How would you go about doing it?
Well, we start off with a bit of citrus pre-wash. Pristine 360 if it really needs it.
Agri spec, yes, proper. Yeah.
Chuck on a bit of snow foam, get it rinsed off, get the shampoo going, and then top it off with some ultra wax.
Deadly. Does he do anything else?
Tons of stuff, lad. Get yourself on the JTech chemicals.
Plenty of good stuff there, like.
It's just JTech kit. Get in your head.
Well, I suppose, look, as I sort of alluded to earlier on, I grew up beside a neighbouring farm, and that's where the notion came from for tractors, basically. That got me into it. Turned 16, sure did what every 16-year-old country boy does and go and start working for a contractor.
Goes drawing
silage and
putting out slurry and
wrapping bales and that
And
sort
I'm
of
sure you
stuff.
were making loads of money.
I was going to say,
£100 a week. And I didn't care one bit because I was out driving tractors.
yeah. You're doing
What
well.
were you driving though at the time?
So at that time I went to work for Mk3 and they were all Fords and they had 7, 6, 10 two-wheel drives. They had one 4-wheel drive AP cab. They had two 8100s with crash gearboxes here between the legs.
Sure, that was fun to drive.
Did an 8210 turbo for the mowers. They had what else was there? Was
For the mowers?
Yeah,
Was she in double mowers?
mower. Sorry,
Oh, right,
single
sorry.
mower. The John Deere mowers.
1360 or 1365.
1360s back
Best
then.
mower ever.
Yep. Did a Muirhill 121
Oh wow.
and did a Massey 690.
Two.
So like they would have been a right way of going, and they
That's
got
a big fleet for like.
that would have been sort of Gussie Quinn's heyday as well, like
Yeah.
around like the
Because
mid
they
to
went
late
up as
90s.
far as Basheen and all done the Braid Valley, I think, at that time as well.
Yeah.
They had the TWs and all back then.
TWs, I don't know if they had ever in 8210. Like, I mind when they bought the 7840 brand new, the first the white roof ones with the black in the roof as well, and they had the 13-ton red rocks. Apparently, like back then, they were like, everybody thought, what are they doing with this plant? Like, where are they going with it? Like in some of our gates back in the day, they couldn't drive into the fields; had to reverse the chillers into the
Is that
fields
right?
because they were just too
They're
big.
all 10-foot, 12-foot gates.
Probably back then. It probably was 10 foot.
Yeah.
And they had the Marshall back then too. So it was always in the go as well. But
What was that? An 804?
D110. She
she's
was a
a
Steyr.
rare
She was a Steyr 8130.
Yes.
So
But there wasn't
my-
many of those about.
No.
Only 12 made.
Really?
I've seen a picture of a fellow who has a Marshall D110, but there's also a Massey 8130 parked beside it. The two of them's in the shed getting done up, and I was like, that's quite cool, because obviously that's an 8130 and that's an 8130.
For like the basically the childhood would have been they would have had the fleet of 8360s at the time. They had the 7840, and it would have been like a novelty to see her out drawing silage. She usually would have been the Reagan tractor, I think, and then they had the Marshall, and she was more time at that, and then days broke down. But
The fella not have to wear a motorbike helmet when he was driving.
Yes, so they put the front windscreen of her opened out, and because I lived beside Loch Ness, there was a lot of
the flies, yeah.
And there was, I can't mind who it was, but because the front window had smashed in her, she would have came with the 12-ton Red Rocks at the time, and they had a motorcycle helmet on.
So funny.
Because of the knock flies.
I see he's wiping his visor steady too.
Oh, like see, but maybe not so much now. But like back in the humid summers, you couldn't have a sunroof for anything open in the tractor. And
Round Ballyronan Marina was always
if I had left the window open in the bedroom and say you'd went downstairs or whatever and you left the light on, you came back and literally your ceiling was black. It was.
It has to be seen to be believed. That
it's really bad.
There would have been that many. They would have been a cloud, and out in the farm.
You still see it now and again. Like
I've seen them, like, because I've dealt with a few customers around the Oxford here, and I've seen them myself. Like it's bad.
It's nothing like what you would. And you just, as you say, you see the swarm, and it looks like black fog.
Yeah,
that's just a load of.
Or even at night time, and you've obviously the lights on.
But anyway, so how does one get a job then? Like, did you do Green Mount or anything like that?
No, I didn't. So I went to grammar school, Lauren Grammar School, and I was the first of four. And my mum and dad had great high hopes for me as a.
You were going to be a doctor, Dr. Evans.
I just wanted to drive tractors. That was me. It was always in my head, and I was a bit rebellious back then, like, for sure. So left school, didn't get enough, got back to school, so went to tech, and I'd worked that summer drawing grass and stuff, and came round, went to tech to do business studies, and the following year came round, it was like March, April times, getting near silage time, so
dropped out of tech.
Gethin's away drawing silage again. Dropped out of tech, went back to tech, so that was Ballymena Tech, went back, no, it was Larne Tech, went back the following year to Ballymena Tech, and same thing happened again, so that was it. That was me just out working, like.
Yeah.
And I suppose I did that for till I was 19 or 20, and I was driving diggers and stuff, and I started going with a girl, and this ad appeared in the Farming Life for Johnston Gilpin's. They were looking for a salesman, and this girl says to me, "You could do that job." And I says, "I've never sold anything, how could I do it?" "No, you should apply for it." So I did. I applied for the job, and Don McCall, he interviewed me, and he didn't tell me this at the time, but he took a shine to me anyway. I would say he saw pound signs in the fact that he didn't have to employ a full blown salesman at that point. He could employ an apprentice as such.
Yeah.
But anyway, they gave me a job and started me as sales demonstrator. That was my title. So I basically, it was the start of the 20 series was just being launched, and I got to order a new 6420S and a new Vauxhall combo van, and started there the 1st of the 11th 01s, was all the ones, and that was my wee demonstration rig. So I had an A-frame and all made for the front of the combo, so it was all self-sufficient, and that's how I got the job. It was basically advertised in the paper, and I applied for it, and they interviewed me, and I got it, and there starts that chapter.
That's class.
So yeah, I did that for a while, a demonstration job, and started then trying to sell a bit of stuff around local to me, and
of course.
Started selling like a few like key and trailers and stuff actually at that time.
Oh, did they do key and trailers as well?
No, but just when you're in that machinery business, you have access to most stuff.
Would somebody be like, "Oh, could you get me a key and trailer then?"
Yeah, that was it. Like, and I sold a few bale trailers, and that was the first sort of stuff I was selling.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I was there 2 years before I sold my first tractor.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, my first new tractor. and I sold it to a man in he's Ballycarry, but he's near enough in McKee. So like I pass by his house every day, and he still has it. He's 6220 and a loader.
Wee
That's
pocket,
cool.
wee pocket
Yeah,
rocket.
he still has it. 6220 premium with a loader, a bucket, and there was a. I'd like to say it was a Wiley shear grab. I just can't remember, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
Why
matter
did
anyway.
she grab it? Yeah.
But just £27,200 in 2003.
It's a lot of money right now for a
How did
tractor.
you find? How hard was it to sell your first tractor?
You treated it as like this was a really big deal, like you know,
Of course.
had a lot of responsibility, and it's not like I actually treat every deal like that now because it is somebody's
Absolutely,
money
and-
and it's an investment for most people.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was very blessed at that time. It was that man because he gave me the time. You know,
yes.
and I was like, what was I, 22, 23 at that time? Like,
Green.
I was green as anything, naive as anything.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm very grateful for those people that actually gave me a chance.
And I'm sure there were people that probably
Yeah.
led you on during that time and promised you that.
There are boys that would like, definitely exploit you. Like,
Oh, 100%.
they would nearly get a kick out of like leading you up the garden path and then dropping you at the last. Like,
I don't get that at all. Like,
well,
what
that's part and parcel of it. But it's all. Do you know what? It actually is all good because it shapes your character and helps you build a bit of resilience.
yeah, fair.
I suppose it doesn't be long before you catch on to who's taking the piss, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. But so that was that till that was 01. I was there for 4 or 5 years, and I went to Wild Notion. There was a boy was working with me, and I still loved the cars and all at that time. And this boy left Johnston Gilpin's to start East Coast Customs.
Yes.
And he came at me about a job coming and selling stuff for them.
Yeah.
So I actually went. This was the year we got married. So I left the job then and went and drove diggers for a while, until they were ready to take me
Yeah.
on. Because I think actually Johnston Gilpin had found out that I was going to go for this job, and sort of gave me an ultimatum. But anyway, left, went and drove diggers for a while, started the job on East Coast Customs, stayed there 3 weeks, absolutely hated it. I hated it. Back to diggers for a bit, and then there's a job advertised in Kennedy's.
That explains.
So I went and worked in Kennedy's between Ballymena and Ballynahinch then for 2 years.
Some track to
Out of
Ballynahinch.
curiosity, how did you find selling John Deere's compared to the new Hollands at the time?
So this is the reason I didn't stay in Kennedy's, right? Honestly,
It's not looking good for the New Hollands here, boys.
As true as I no, and it's not to dismiss.
TM180s.
It's not to dismiss the New Hollands whatsoever. But I didn't have the heart and the stuff to sell it.
Like, is it one of those things where if you're selling something for so long, and say Joe Blogs comes in to you and he says, you know, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, and you know it off the top of your head, you know everything about them, and then you go to sell something else, and you're just like, you're just not feeling that.
Especially if you were used to power quad and now you've range command and power command.
But see, at the same time, I was all familiar with all that stuff anyway. Like,
Course you'd be
all,
great.
like
Started
all the
off
New
in
Holland
Fords,
stuff,
like.
I could jump into it just as well as I could jump into the John Deere's and drive it. And at that age, like you're a sponge. Like you take in all the information and you're eager beaver and all the rest of it. So I mean that end of it was no problem. In terms of selling the stuff and explaining what it did and pricing it and all that, no bother. And I did sell a right wee bit of stuff at that time, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the people, and I enjoyed the experience. But my heart just wasn't in it. And I always say, to be a successful salesperson, you have to believe in what you sell. You have to be able to sell something
100%.
you buy yourself.
And if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I could sell this man a T6050, but I know a E6430 is a better tractor.
100%. That's
Yeah.
where I was at. But
I agree with you.
But
Okay.
out of coincidence, right? So I was in Lisburn one day, and I was in Phillips Volkswagen buying parts for the Mk3.
Right.
And I met Don McConnell coming out of Phillips. He was in doing it. I don't know what he was doing anyway, but he met me in the wee foyer, and he says, "How you doing?" I says, "I'm doing all right." And he winked at me, and he says, would you come and see me sometime? I knew exactly why he wanted to see me. So he says, I will. And so I went and saw him, and he asked me to come back. And that was that. And see, from that day, like, that really settled me in terms of a place of employment. And I respected them from that day on. Like, they had my loyalty.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because as far as I was concerned, they gave me a second chance.
Yeah, of course.
And they had seen something in me that they wanted. So that was that. Like, and I really did. From then, that's when I really started to get successful selling and earn myself a good reputation.
You probably had the confidence behind you as well, knowing they want me.
Well, I had a bit of experience as well, and I had then gone to the other side to see, like, the experience that.
There's a lot to be said for being
the bluer grass in this occasion.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, as I say, it really, really settled me, and I really did find my stride after that. And I from then on, like, I really started to treat that place as my own, treat the business as my own, and that's what made the difference.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like.
I have that respect, basically.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you're getting up in the morning going, I have to do this. Like, I want to do this. I want to make money because I want to do this for the company. And yeah, that's absolutely it. Like, it's the difference between basically thinking your boss is getting one over on you and you're doing this for the company.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for that. So
what's your favourite ever John Deere?
Bollocks, I was about to ask that question.
Or most memorable tractor, like, you know.
For me personally, I'd say that's probably that 6420S, like, because that was the very first.
Okay. Not a 6930 premium.
But 6930 premium, right? See this whole 6930 premium business, right? I know you're on about 6830.
Potato.
See
well, not really, but
you see my memories of 30 series. I can say this now because I'm not working for a dealer anymore.
Head gaskets.
My memories from we were selling those new, like, the workshop was full of them for head gaskets, wiring problems.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't that reliable. Like,
the head gasket's always going to be the thorn in the 30 series side.
But people go mad for them. Like,
because
they go absolutely mad for them.
Was
like,
the 20 series a better tractor?
No.
Oh.
No.
Some people will tell you aye, some people will tell you no, but
nah.
The 10 series is probably a better machine, no?
10 series, yes, was grand. Like, but if you see, like, John Deere always used to tell us this about warranty claims, like how their warranty claims kept decreasing. So they said that more warranty claims in 10 series than 30 series.
So that would lead you to believe the 10 series weren't reliable at times either?
I don't know. I think the 10 series was still pretty good. Like,
they were a good tractor. A lot of like TLS and stuff like that come in, like great stuff like back then. Like,
I think if I was to pick a classic for a collection, and it was only one, it would probably be a 2850 high lift 40k.
Nice wee tractor.
Yeah.
But why a 28 and not like a 36 or a 33 or something?
I'm near sure my brother-in-law has a 2850.
Is that right?
I don't know if she has 40k. And he bought
40k wouldn't be coming on them.
He bought
it's not though.
No.
I think she's 40k. He bought her off a contractor. She had €7,500 on her, and literally all she does is put a wee bale of hair or something. He bought her, and she was right and cheap.
Never had lost a penny.
I don't know, Michael. They're just. I think they're a quirky wee thing. Like, and the SG2 cab on, you sit away back. I love the seating position in them, but they've got this really sort of flat revving, quirky note off them as well. Like,
they're a class wee yard tractor, but like they punch. Like you could put 12-ton Fraser on behind one and you'd work away with the very best. Like.
I know when I was at McMaster's one summer, that first summer I was there actually, there was a 2140 and I was in it. That was
a great tractor.
That was my favourite
the
tractor.
2140.
And it drew a trailer, like.
4-cylinder turbo. They're a great wee tractor.
Yeah.
A while ago I was looking at the possibility of buying one. I don't really know how that's going to go now because
they're flipping hard to buy that.
Yeah,
honestly,
all stuff's hard to buy now.
And see a good 2850, like, you get 15 grand for one now.
Rocket money,
even more.
Even 2650 is a fortune.
Yeah.
Well, then was the R series much of an improvement over the 2030? Sorry for thinking, but I had this.
So the R series, I would say that's a contentious one. In my opinion, they were a much better tractor than a 30 series. The reason people didn't like them was a couple of reasons. they
Sound like a washing machine.
they were dead, and they were dead. Like I'll be the first to admit
lighten them
it.
up.
They were heavier, the less power as a result, and the one thing that people always forget is how quiet they were, right? And because you had that noise in the 30 series, it gave you a sensation of this thing's an animal or whatever it is, like, and you couldn't hear that in the R series, so people didn't get that same engagement.
Yeah.
But overall, like, they've been a pretty good, pretty reliable tractor, like, from the get go.
Like, spec'd up well enough with your multimedia controls and all that there on the armrest. They probably have the best laid out cab in the market.
They do, yeah. Even like today, like, I remember them launching that, and they were like doing the whole big "we're the best" and all that. But the stats that I remember from that launch, it was in Lisbon in Portugal. The cab was 8 inches wider and 6 inches longer than the outgoing cab.
There's a lot of room for a lunchbox. That's a lunchbox on the
They
other
did
side.
tell me the volume, but I can't remember it. But that's a considerable bit more.
Yeah,
Like.
that's literally your a wee fridge on the other side.
Yeah,
Like,
but you take any of the cabs that are on the market today, like, I think you'll still struggle. That new Massey cab's a good cab now.
Well, like,
They're big.
well, that's one thing I had said. I was surprised, and maybe it's down the line, but like Agrotechnica this year or that, I'm surprised Massey haven't done, because with all due respect, at the time, whenever it came up to ours was 3-year-old to change, it was, I think, say 20 grand to put us into the latest one. And no offence, but it was literally just a lick of paint. No, there's no like. Whereas if you're going, as you say, from the 30 series to an R series,
Yeah.
that's like a revolution.
Yeah.
of a tractor. Whereas the other is literally a lick of paint.
Yeah, but I think, like, from seeing a bit on the manufacturer's side, see to re-engineer a cab or to produce a new cab, see the amount of, like, testing that has to go through. Like, I think it costs, like, so much money to redevelop, and then everything else that has to be adapted or changed as a consequence. Like, so you're basically, if you change your cab, you're changing your whole
Absolutely. It's the whole
structure.
You've been to Mannheim, haven't you?
Well, I've been loads of times, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
I absolutely love it there. And there's one year in particular, 2019, I think it was, February I was out, so I get selected for, it was like a leadership programme. There's 20 people from all over Europe, and you got to spend the week out there in this programme and stuff. So I was out there in February. 3 weeks later, I had the Lagan Brothers out, getting the golden key for their new 9.9.
Yes.
And then I was out again. That was twice. And then I was
the first
away.
9.9 in Europe sold?
It was, yeah.
It was a brute.
Yeah.
That was an animal.
I know. That was good crack, that trip. Got caught for speeding. Got caught for speeding. I'll never forget getting the letter in the post too. Here's something Seamus Lagan's big head over my shoulder. All he sees his big face in the mug shot.
Yeah.
I got caught doing 23 and a 20 kilometres.
Oh,
coming off an autobahn.
so German.
I know. €25 fine it was. I could live with it.
I was see until last week. I had a green John Deere coat lying there that I got out of Mannheim.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, whenever we were at school, they took us over for like a student thing.
Aye.
It was actually really impressive facility. Like, it's class.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was 186 tractors or something they were doing a day at that time. I don't know what they're doing now.
Aye, so I think at capacity in Mannheim they can do 376 tractors a day. Or they could back within the...
Mental.
I'm not sure if they can do that today with all the new after treatment and stuff, but they're not producing that now.
No, well, that was back to 2011.
Aye. So any time I was there in recent years, like, it was in and around that 160, 70 tractors a day. Like, but they could run 3 shifts, I think, in the factory, and that's to get your full capacity then. But I think they've only been on 2 shifts the past lot of years.
I'd say they're probably not. It's not as much going through, like, I would imagine.
Well, you say that I know for a fact 2 years ago they produced the most tractors in Mannheim that ever produced.
So they're just
So I think they've just, whatever they've done, they've streamlined their operations. Like,
It used to be the way everything came into Mannheim. The cabs were made in France or something like that, and everything else like all came through different parts of
so
Germany.
the engines are made in Saran in France, so they're all brought in.
Engines
So
from
they're
France.
John Deere engines made in the John Deere factory. The cabs are made in Bruxelles, which is a factory not far from Mannheim.
Yes,
and that,
okay.
were you ever in it?
Nope.
That's fascinating.
Right.
That's a really good factory, actually. They've loads of robotics and stuff in it. And
Even Mannheim was a lot, like the whole painting and all in Mannheim was the first time I'd ever seen robotic painters.
yeah, no, it's really impressive. Like, I've been to Waterloo a couple of times as well in America.
Yeah, Iowa.
Aye, and honestly, I think Mannheim's the better plant to see. Like,
Like that, yeah. It'd be a lot more efficient.
yeah, and it's quite cool because, like, I don't know if anybody knows, but it's like right in the middle of the city. So the factory's actually walled in. So like they've nowhere to go. So
Mannheim's,
they have to be efficient.
it's its own city, but it
Yeah.
has its own, because I ended up in the hospital. I took I fainted with the heat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was 32 degrees or something there, and I wasn't sleeping at night because we were staying in a hostel, or not a hostel, like a hotel, and there's no fan in my room, and I wasn't
shit.
sleeping at night. Like, it was so warm, and I think I was getting like 2 hours sleep a night, and I remember standing, and they were explaining something to us, and like not grad school, not technical. There's a technical college there, isn't there?
Aye,
They're explaining something to us, and I just dropped.
flip me. Now, why were you there? How did you come to be there?
School did so basically our school did this thing where anybody who's interested in engineering and wanted to do engineering could apply to go to basically a factory in Germany for a week. So I
Really?
went to John Deere, yeah. Some of them went to Mercedes trucks. Is that Karlsruhe?
That's class.
Yeah.
I never heard of a school doing that.
Yeah.
like.
It
No,
was
my
really-
school certainly didn't do
It was
anything like that, to be honest.
really, really good. Like, it was such a good trip.
Aye, well,
I was the
you-
only one from my year went. I was sitting like,
It obviously made an impact on you, like, because you still remember it.
oh, 100%. Like, and like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to do Basildon or something like that as well. But like, Mannheim was just like, even it's just so German. Like, they were like the swath from like when they made their own gears in the gear factory. Like, all that swath was melted down, and then there's a bus company down the road.
Mercedes.
Is that was it Mercedes?
Yeah,
They didn't mention
Mercedes.
the name. I didn't know it was Mercedes.
Yeah, it was
They
Mercedes buses.
they reuse, like, they melt that down and reuse all the metals,
Yeah.
like, for other bits and for like lesser grade stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
No, there's nothing wasted,
Not in Germany.
and nobody panicking, nobody running about flapping.
That was because they're all just it's just done.
Yeah.
They just get it done.
Did you see them doing the 4-cylinder? I think it was the 4-cylinder chassis, putting them together. No.
I just remember seeing that it starts off basically with like a PTO gearbox, or the PTO in the gear, but the back
the-
end,
the
and then
back
they
end,
walk
yeah.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes to a point where they join the back end of the chassis.
Yep.
So if you know a John Deere 6000 series has a chassis, and it comes to a point where they have to marry those two together, obviously. But the 4-cylinders are put together with a dial,
Right. Okay.
a pin, but the dials are all in a freezer.
To keep
So
them.
they have a freezer. Whenever there's a 4-cylinder comes on the line, they go into the freezer, get the pins, big set of tongs, and there's another boy. He sledges it in.
I do remember the sledge. Yeah.
That's a fact.
I do remember the sledge.
But
That's right.
Because it's so cold,
It just goes straight in.
it contracts and then never.
And then it
comes up.
can never come out again.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's Not
That
right.
is so
but-
German.
yeah.
Oh, it's class. Like,
But it's like you have to see it. Like that's
so,
really good.
So impressive.
If you ever get the chance to go and like do
Go
go.
to it.
I've done a lot of factories. Like I've done Basildon
Oh, you've done Basel?
a couple of times as well. Yeah, I've done that. I've done a few of the John Deere ones. I've done Sulky was actually a good factory. You know, Sulky fertilizer source.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I've done it. It's really good. And it's a new factory. Like, it was built in 2011. It's
Right, okay.
brand new facility. Like, so they make the sores there and they make drills and stuff as well.
Did they
So,
buy Moore Unidrill? Or am I barking up the wrong tree?
there was something went on there recently with. No, they did. They had a connection with the Moore drill.
Something like that, yeah.
They did have a tie up, but no, they never actually bought them. I don't
Okay.
think.
I knew there was something.
But they were produced under license, I think.
Perhaps.
The mirror drill was produced under licence with a sulky badge.
There is something about that.
Which is mad to think, like, that's a boy from Korea, like, her
Or
Balmony.
Balmony or
Is
something.
that not is it Barry Reid buys mirror drills or something?
Possibly.
I think Gareth did a video on it, and he was saying all about like some. I had never heard of them before, so I could be completely wrong. A question's burning in my head there, Gethin. What is the largest tractor you've ever sold?
It's probably actually Donkey's tractor, a 7R 350.
Fair enough,
Yeah.
I never even. And you might disagree with me. I would have said the older 7R looks better than the newer one.
I don't know. I do like
the
the new
cab
one.
with the 4 lights at the top and all. I thought it was a bit funky.
I think, see, if you went and sat in that new cab, like, it's...
You just wouldn't say the same thing.
It's a class thing to sit in, like.
What would you rather have, 7R 350 or 7930?
I think I'd rather have 930.
They're class looking.
Yeah.
They're such a cool.
Is it just the fact they have the weaker
I'd
engine?
rather 7920, because that's got the big engine.
Oh, is the 7930 the smaller engine?
Aye. So they look better, in my opinion.
That's
but
6.8.
Oh, the 7920 is at 8.1?
Yeah.
was the first of the 7Rs the old cab, the 30 series cab? Because I know in Power Legends, whenever Gareth was doing the video, I'm near sure.
No, they always had their own cab, the 7R.
I must have seen it wrong then.
You'd have got, what would it have been? No, you got a 7-8-10s, and they had their own cab too.
What about Dubshed then?
Dubshed, it's just round the corner.
It is. How many days left now?
I don't even know.
Is it like 80?
Aye, you know more than me.
How did you get involved?
How did we get involved? Or how did I get involved? So, we ran Castlewellan, was GTA and I, so...
Was GTA and I, was that originally you, or did you join GTA
No,
and
I joined it. So GTA, Nigel is the OG, so he was in it from the start. And there was a few other people in it back, like from 2004. Castlewellan was running sort of from then. And then I got involved 2008-9, and then in 2010, we come up with this idea of having Dubshed at the King's Hall. Now it was February that year, and within 6 weeks we had secured the venue and were running the event. But it wasn't like, we never set out to make it what it is today. Like the first year, I think we did like 170 cars or something.
Still a big
That's
car.
still quite a large, to be fair.
Yeah, but we saw the need. Like we'd been to Ultimate Dubs and thought, you know what, it wouldn't have been nice if we could put on a show, because it's a long wait till June to Castlewellan.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
And you got in at just the right time as well, because you got the season opener.
Yeah.
And
but
maybe apart from Ultimate Car Show and Larne, no one's really messing with Dubshed.
No, but we were very new, and like the Ultimate Car Show in Larne was there before us. Oh, look, there's never any fallouts that way, and like, but that was grand. Like we had our crowd, he had his. So I look, it kind of just evolved from there. We like the whole idea of it being indoor.
Yeah.
That's what makes it special.
It was like a prestigious show.
Aye, but like
Getting indoor was always like that.
We was at the first shows.
2013 was my first year.
2013 was
The
that?
year your pupil was in.
No, I was there the year before that. Oh, right. Yeah.
That year, I don't think we'd have had the.
You didn't have
Pavilion.
the second hall the first year. You had the second hall in 2014.
So we were in like the cattle halls, you know, where the exhibit
Yes.
the cattle. So that the Alexander Hall. So we
That was
had
the London Dairy Hall.
No, we had the Alexander Hall first, and then we took on the London Dairy Hall, which was the long red brick building as you drive in.
Yes.
And then I think year 3, I always had the sheepfold as well, which was a gravel floor. That was an absolute dust bowl. Like, I think year 3 then we took on the Nugent Hall, which was the hall immediately to the back of the King's Hall.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other one was the Balmoral Hall, which was the one directly behind that. So, like, we had we had that place sussed by the time we were leaving, and it was really.
It was so special.
It really was.
I thought it was so special
because
there.
it was such a quirky wee place, and all these
100%.
nooks and crannies, and it lent itself really well to photos and stuff. And
The icon, look, the icon is what the icon is. The icon is a proper purpose-built event, show event. 2 big halls, a big outdoor area, plenty of room for parking, questionable roads in.
aye,
Not
Yeah.
really the promises that were made at the time.
I know, but that's beyond their control.
But like, I just remember when they said, "Oh, it's no longer going to be at the King's Hall." I was devastated. Like, it's just like, because it was so cool.
I know.
And like,
Oh, we were proper gutted, like, because we had. That was 2014 was the last year we had the actual
2015?
King's Hall. I think 2015 we were down to.
no, because you had your polo on the, what do you call the AC Star 5s, and you done that in 2015. Because we only
Yes.
you
For I was part for whatever way it had worked out. There was a row of 8 polos
All right.
from 6 and 2s right across, right up, and was it the 6R? Was it Jack Walker that? And it was we 1.4
Yeah,
TSA, and
we
it was
blew him.
remapped and all.
Yeah.
And he was parked beside me, I think, at the time, and it was a brand new car at the time, and he had it lowered and all that. It was the first of them, the real light blue coloured ones that were going about for a while.
Yeah.
I was actually down in Dublin, got the bus up and got over to it just so I could get to the event. Like,
Is that right?
yeah, like
Oh, it was like the prestigious of the prestigious shows for us.
That's class. Like flip's sake, we never saw ourselves as that. Like we just again.
But like for us looking at yous, we thought yous were, and that's what I said at the very start of the podcast. I'm going to reiterate this. Like we looked at yous and thought, they're the royalty. Them boys are royalty. Like,
Well, look, we never ever consider ourselves like, and I'm actually embarrassed to hear that. Like honestly,
look, it's only because we were so young and yous were like the veterans in the scene, and there have been people, not yourself or Nigel, but there have been people, and I've seen people in my generation do it. There's people in your generation who've done it, who do like snub people and do smirk and laugh at cars, and that's all very, very intimidating. So whenever you're young and you see you guys at the top, we just automatically kind of probably assume to an extent, oh, like they're judging us, even though you don't care about any of us. Like,
no,
but
no, I do care about. It's like, but no, I think, well, Nigel and me, I suppose in particular, like to make sure that we do a really good job and put on an event to the best of our ability. And that's not to dismiss anybody else that's involved, because we all are a team and we all have the same attitude. But I suppose we always try never to get above our station and never take it for granted that our event is successful and that people still want to get involved, because in our opinion it's never perfect. Like there's always room for improvement.
there's always something like.
There's always something we can tweak to make it better, and believe me, see when something goes wrong or somebody's not happy, we're not happy because we haven't done a good enough job.
Yeah, of course.
So we're always, I suppose, striving for perfection in that sense.
Well, tell me this. Maybe I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, but this was general consensus about all the ones. Like, so I would like run about, like go to shows. I don't go to as many shows as I used to, but I would be friendly with all the guys from Limitless. We all said that Dubshed 2025 was possibly the best Dubshed. And Conor McCann said it too.
Yeah.
None of us have any idea why. It was amazing. It was such a good year.
We all felt the same thing actually.
Good weather helped.
We said after last year that was the best one yet, and do you know what? That was one of the key factors.
The weather?
See the weather, like the weather makes such a difference.
Well, there's been good weather the other years.
Look, there has been, but it's a combination of things. Like the weather, the cars last year I thought they were phenomenal. Like,
And the
what we
VWs had a better showing.
Yeah.
That's something I've definitely seen.
That has definitely been a struggle for the past few years.
Was it 2023? I think.
But they're definitely on the up again.
There was 2023. I think it was the first year I was in with Sierra, and I remember going through the main hall, and there was cars that typically like would have been outside.
Yeah.
And they were inside, and I was like, you just kind of looked at it and was like,
I know.
you know they're struggling for the quality.
See, at the same time, it's hard. Like, see, I think last year definitely helped because we tried to get as many cars in on the Friday as we could.
Definitely helps.
But you see, before, like, you were depending on people turning up on the Saturday, and you see the amount of no-shows that we get.
Oh, unreal, obviously.
Like, and we're going to try and do something different to manage that this year. But you're having to then go out and pull in reserves, and like, don't forget, we're accepting cars, and I know that it is judgy. Look, I'm not going to apologise for it because like, we have to.
You have to have a certain calibre. It's a show.
But we're accepting cars based on an entry, right? And that entry consists of photographs and a description. That is all we've got to go on.
Yeah.
Unless we know the car or know the person or whatever.
Have you had instances where they clearly don't match what they have put down?
100%. And in fact, there's boys have tried their hand with different cars, like, but it's just, like, and they don't make it easy for you.
Or people claim to have, like, they're going to have these special split rims and they show up in a set of standard wheels. It's like,
Have you ever had to? You've entered, someone's entered for indoor. They have accepted it. It's came there. It is not what was described, and you went no.
Not yet.
Fair enough.
oh really?
Not yet.
So, if they've essentially got indoor and they come up, so say Michael has said, "Oh, I'm going to bring my Amarok and it's going to be decked in 22-inch wheels," which is never going to happen, and it raises its standard.
You're on the reserves. That's how we handle that.
Fair.
You know, you have to have a certain level of discernment. Like, see, like, and that's like we had. I think we had over 900 entries last year, right? We read every single description and look at every single photograph, and that is it can be a soul destroying process at times, like. And that's why we try to reiterate to people, like, write the stuff, write the description, sell us your car, like, literally write us a for sale advert. Tell us how good your car is. Tell us all the things you've done about it. Give us the best photographs. I was through entries the other night and I was actually cracking up. Boys taking screenshots of, like, Facebook posts.
Oh, good God.
Like,
or Snapchats.
It's just like, please put a bit of effort. If you want to take part in the show, put a bit of effort in.
What about
we put the effort in to put the show on?
What about people going, this should be inside?
Aye,
if you had a fiver for everyone already, you've seen
dead on, pal.
that's I've heard that really.
Have you had many instances or had any instances of, say for instance, again, me or Michael, like, didn't bother applying because we thought we weren't good enough, and we went to the show and you walked outside, say, and you're like, that is mega, and went going on there?
Well, yes, that does happen, and you get, most of the time the boys know the crack, you know, that they have to apply and all, but like last year there was one example in particular. This boy turned up and he just expected that he was going to get inside because he had a really, really mint car, and like, I'm not going to mention any names or a car or anything, but the thing was, the car was really, really good. It genuinely deserved to be, like, have a really good spot inside.
Did it deserve to be inside if he didn't apply?
As far as I was concerned, and as far as the car was concerned, it deserved to be inside, right? But I said to the guy, I says, look, there's a process for this. I said, the process starts in December. You've all that time to enter your car. That process ends on a certain date.
Yep.
We can only take so many cars in here. I said, with 250 spaces, there's 900 people entered. We have to draw the line somewhere. No matter how good your car is, it doesn't give you special privileges.
Absolutely agree.
So, like, sometimes you have to take the hard line, and unfortunately, like, that it's a car that deserved to be in, but like, we couldn't take it.
He didn't enter. That's his fault.
So
that's his fault.
I suppose that is the whole outside thing being like, you have to still apply even if you just want to turn up on the day.
So we changed that up last year. So
good.
Look, I suppose our stance on the outside was, bring your car along, park it up, have a look around inside, and that's your inspiration for the next time. But it went completely the other way.
Someone respraying their Passat
People were treating it as handy parking, or like the straw that broke the camel's back for me was if Nissan Navara turned up and parked in the corner of the car park, and I said to the girl on the way in, I says, "Are you parking in the trader's car park, or are you basically, what the flip are you doing here?" No, I'm with this crew here, I'm parking down there. What could I say? Like, we didn't say, you're not welcome.
Well,
so that for me, that was like, do you know what, this has gone too far, this has to change. So last year we set out and said that outdoors was by
entry only,
pre-entry only, to try and up the standard, and it actually really did help.
100, but like, maybe you don't know this. Did you know about the Passat person rattle can spraying the Passat in the car? No, you didn't.
Is
Really?
this the one with the straight pipe out the exhaust? Or the
No,
bonnet?
but we did a thing in that. That was really funny.
Oh, flip, he was annoying, that boy.
He listens.
Well, you were a while annoying.
No, this was a year. It was a year before that, and like literally there was this Passat. These people said they were going to start spraying pink in the car park beside other people's cars. Holy overspray.
I didn't know a thing about that.
Really?
No.
I was cross.
Aye. See, that sort of stuff, that, like, I do get embarrassed about that, because we're responsible for it.
To an extent.
It sort of makes a mockery of what the work you're trying to do.
It does, yeah. That's not what we're trying to achieve, like, for sure.
And you seen what became of like the outside of UD and Ultimate Stance and Ultimate Dubs, like the outside kind of nearly became like a joke. People were like, what has turned up outside, and like literally people were going around and videoing. It was more of a thing to go and like take the piss out of the cars, that were outside, rather than focusing on the cars that were inside. Yeah, like you don't want that.
No. Look, it's hard to get outside right, and that's been honest. It's hard to find the right formula.
The entry system is a good way to go.
Like last year we tried to get some of the supercars involved, and we kept an area free out the front for them to turn up, and look, we're very grateful to the guys that did turn up, but like, it was a handful. It was
it's not their scene though.
It was pitiful, but it's not their scene, and
did they want to spend 2 days?
Well, they didn't, but we actually were making room for them to get in and out, which is completely against what we say. But
you're absolutely. I don't care if your washing machine's broke. You have to.
Yeah, but here, look, it's, I don't know. I think the mix of what we do is what people expect, and I think it does still work, but we're always trying to, like, what can we do to make this better? What can we do to make it a wee bit different without changing too much? What can we do to keep people interested, keep people engaged? Because it's a big site, and they're two big halls.
Absolutely.
And
you need to be constantly looking for what's, like, as you say, if you rest in your laurels, that's when things get complacent. That's when the nice finishing touches, you just go, doesn't matter, we're Dubshed.
Yeah.
As you say, you never think you're bigger than you are, because, well, you get humbled very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it's obvious, like with your team and the crowd you have around you, like, it's a very, very passionate group of people.
Do you know what? Like, honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm on a podcast. We are so fortunate to have the team we do.
You're a class team.
Like, we honestly do.
It clearly takes so much to run that.
But do you know what about our team? The one thing about our team is we trust them. And we trust every single one of them. Yeah. And like, there's nobody that I would be saying.
Even Jake Luke.
Even Jake. Jake's a good wee lad. Good wee lad. But he's great. He's super. Like, and we do tend to keep the team fairly tight because of that.
I think that's a good idea.
But we know that everybody knows what to do. They know the crack. They know what to say when somebody asks a question. And it just works.
How many of you is there now running Dubshed?
There's probably Dubshed weekend. There's probably about 22, 24 people total. Our core team is about 12.
I was going to say I thought it was around 12.
Yeah, but look, no, as I say, just we're really, really fortunate to have these people. Like, 'cause we couldn't do it without them. Like,
absolutely.
And they love the event, like, and love.
Oh, they're passionate.
Yeah,
100%. They care, and it's the same as you. Back to the whole thing about you talking about like Johnston Gilpin's. you seen that as yours.
Yeah.
Like they see Dubshed as their event.
Yeah.
It's not only just you,
it is.
Colin, and
it totally
Nigel.
is, yeah.
It's there
'Cause
for all of them.
we couldn't do it without them. And like we went through, you know, see back in the day, like we did absolutely everything. Like we fenced the place. We put the very fencing
Flyers.
up. We did absolutely everything. And over the years, like there's people have come and gone, but people get married and have kids, and like their priorities change. And we
Of course.
can't blame them for that. So we've as the years have gone on, and we've got a wee bit more money and about us, we're able to employ people to do certain things. So it takes a lot of the burden off those people.
Even like security and stuff.
Yeah, and like you know, like even now with gate staff, we hire gate staff for doing that. Like, whereas that was the last thing we did on our own.
No, it's
But it's a thankless job. Like,
absolutely. Can we talk about your most recent venture? Then you're wearing the.
aye, flip. We're going out for the breakfast here soon, boys.
Yeah, honestly, we are well over time. Like,
It was always going to go well over time, though.
yeah, and like we could do this podcast
For another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I suppose the latest thing in my life is career change. So, Johnston Gilpin's got bought over by Stephen Moore. Stephen and I get on fine, but we did fight a lot over the years over territory customers whatsoever. So it was a kind of a forced marriage to a degree. But we worked together for a couple of years. But I decided then, you know, at that point, I think it was time.
Just want a new adventure.
Try something on my own.
A new challenge.
A new challenge, yeah. And like I was heading for 45, and it was kind of a now or never.
Yeah,
If I
absolutely.
don't do it now,
Yeah.
I'll just be here for
A near
until
middle life crisis.
Yes,
And your
that's-
children are
that's
kind of
near.
at the age where they're a bit older and maybe a bit more independent now as well.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. That's right. So, yeah, I suppose the easiest and most obvious thing to do for me personally, was cars, because they were fairly accessible, and you know, I kind of knew what sold and what. Like, I'd bought and sold a few cars over the years myself, and so decided that's what I was going to do, leave and buy and sell cars. But that sort of led then to other opportunities. So I'm still keeping the hand on the tractors. So I'm still selling a few tractors. And look, I'm only 8 months in. So
Is it short? I thought it was longer.
well, maybe it is
I
longer.
didn't realise it was that short either.
Aye, since April.
Thought it was
But I
longer
didn't
than that.
really get going till May, because there's a whole lot of stuff to do in April after Dubshed and
I
all
thought
that
we
there.
talked about it at
May,
Dubshed last
June,
year.
July, December. It's 8 months.
I'm
9
nearly
months.
You must have just told me about it.
That you had the
That's
thought
right.
of going out and doing
Yeah,
your own thing.
yeah.
Because me and Gareth talked about you at Dubshed last year. It came up. I thought you were out on your own, but I remember you saying about it.
I handed my notice in last January, and like I give them 3 months just to get everything
That's
tidied
exactly
up and,
what it
and
was.
wrapped
You
up.
told
Like
me
so.
you were leaving. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
So no, it's been a roller coaster to an extent. I've enjoyed it.
Daunting at all?
It's daunting, surely. It's flipping daunting.
Of course it is.
You're up and down a lot more than I was. Like,
And
Do you enjoy being your own boss, though?
I very much do. Like, and do you know what? Like, I'm out of that whole dealer environment, and I'm actually really not missing it. Like,
Okay.
I'm not missing everything that's associated with it. All the protocols, all the emails, all the paperwork, all the unnecessary crap that goes with it.
Yeah.
I do miss the customers, and I do miss my team. I really miss my team, like, because I was close to them. But do you know what? I don't have any regrets.
no, and I think
I've lots of wee ideas, like, and I have had loads of opportunities. So it's like trying to, like, I've given myself 3 years to try and figure out the path. You know, so whether I continue selling cars, I don't know. You know, at the minute I'm thinking maybe not, and do something more agricultural,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
But
But
like, you have your own loyal customers from your previous position.
I have, and like people have been so encouraging and so supportive. Like, and people have actually, you know, they've given me trade as and when they could.
Yeah,
You know, and
fair play.
they're giving me a chance. So like I say, I'm very grateful for that. Like,
well, I think even you say like you can't hit the nail on the head there. Like,
you're happy. I think if you hadn't left, you'd have spent your whole life going, what if? Whereas if you decided in the morning you had to go back and go, hey Stephen,
At least you tried.
I wouldn't mind going back to selling John Deere's again, or you can go to the dark side and sell some more scrap or something else. Like, you know, you could, at least you can turn around and say, I tried, and it mightn't necessarily be a fail, it might be, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Or I like a guaranteed wage, or maybe selling stuff as a hobby is a better idea.
No, and look, that's what I said from the very outset of the decision. Like, I'll never be stuck. Like, I'm not.
Go drive digger, really, if it
Yeah, or
draw
drive.
silage for £100 a week again.
Yeah.
For George Master.
No. Draw a line somewhere now.
Some things are best left in the past.
Yeah, thanks for, hopefully you get an hour's kept before your breakfast.
I was going to say, you got me on the bother with the wife now. She's flipping phones ringing flat out here. Thinks I'm over through a hedge somewhere.
What's your handles? And
What's
everything?
I suppose Instagram really is all I use. Like, it's Gethin_GTI.
Do you have a page for Emotive?
I have, yes. Indeed I do. Yes. Emotive is the page title. I think you have to search for Emotive NI.
Okay.
It's on Facebook.
Emotive NI.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
All the best with the new venture.
thank you. And listen, boys, thanks for having me on, and thanks for your patience. I know you've been asking for a wee while and hasn't worked out, but I appreciate you.
No, you're 100%.
He's holding on.
Don't worry about it.
Michael, what a story, like.
As I said prior to us switching the interview with him, like, that was, in my opinion, that was a rushed 2 hours.
Rushed?
Yeah, like, that was like me looking at the clock and going, I still need to talk about
Definitely
this.
one of them podcasts where I feel I barely spoke, but it's because Gethin has so much to tell, and obviously, as you say, it even felt rushed at 2 hours.
Yeah, like, you know, there's other, like, because I know bits and pieces about the other car stuff that I was like, I could really go in on this, but we don't really have time. Like, as I said, we could have done an episode on him, an episode on him regarding Dubshed, and an episode on him regarding
His career path.
And all three
Would have been at least 2 hours.
Yeah, and all three would have been stories worthy to tell.
Oh, completely. Like, it got to the point where we were near like, oh, we still have to talk about Dubshed.
Yeah, and talk about his business, which was
Exactly.
one of the, like, whenever I interviewed him at Dubshed last year, and I said, look, would you come on? And he said, I would, you know, because he said he was starting his own business, and he goes, look, let me get up and running, I'll come on and promote it. And to be honest with you, I don't really even think we've done his business much justice there.
No, but like, a man definitely for like sourcing cars and all that, there definitely hit him up.
And I'll tell you another thing about Gethin is he's this is behind the scenes us chatting, like, he genuinely is good, like, he's honest. Also, one more thing, I know this is finishing off the podcast, and if you've made it this far, fair play. One other very interesting fact: your cousin Kieran is a second cousin of mine.
Yeah.
I did not know this. When did you find this out?
Well, I wouldn't have said.
My dad's cousin is your auntie. Anyway, we rounded off.
Yeah.
So, what's your socials, Connor, if you're going to use them at all?
At Connor.McGoo and all socials, including Snapchat, Instagram, and all. As anybody would know, I'm very poor at updating them. I'm just such a busy man, to be honest with you.
And replying.
I've got shocking at replying too.
I'm so happy.
As terrible as this is, though, like, my phone is not only obviously my communication device, it's also my diary, my to-do list, my recording device. And to be honest with you, the other three things come before communication. So unless you're called Gemma or Michael, because obviously I do a podcast with yourself, or my family, like, I look at it and 9 times out of 10 completely forget.
I find myself, like, going through things like 3 or 4 days later.
You're very good at replying and all. As long as you're if you're looking something, you're amazing at replying, and so am I.
Yeah, I got human nature. I don't know, I try to reply to most people, but Sometimes I might like not reply for 2 or 3 days, and it's just because in my especially Snapchat, like I might just miss a Snapchat, and then I might see something for like 5 days, and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, the worst of it was the lads I went to uni with, like now group chat going, and there was something put in, and again had 5 minutes free, so I was going through it, and then I replied to something, and then they were like, oh, there's my guy in.
He's still alive.
A month after it was done.
That's rugby. Well, you can find me on at Michael Scullen _ on everything bar Snapchat, which is mscullen, and you can follow the pod on at Limitless Lip Differences on absolutely everything.
And before we get blew away,
let's call it night. See you later.
All the best, guys. Cheers.
Bye.